Shalom. This is Judah J. Back with another live for you. This is an open conversation. So I'm going to put up on the screen the link so that you can actually be a part of the conversation. I'll do that right now so that you guys can see it. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. The link is about to go up. And I want to have a conversation. Basically about anything that's on your mind. Anything that's on the mind of targeted individuals that would like to share in this conversation. If you would like to come and talk about targeting individual topics, anything that's going on in your life right now that you are just needing to share in order to get some sort of solace, to be able to get some sort of relief, we can talk about it right now. This is a live, so basically, come on. I have the link that's up right now in the chat. The link's in the chat, and also you can see the link that's on the screen. This topic can be about anything having to do with being a targeted individual. Okay? Problems that you are going through, not knowing which way to turn. You need somebody to talk to. You need to be able to share your experience. It's available for you right now. So basically, I'm just going to wait for people to come on. I was not able to actually, prepare something for you where you can come and see that I'm making live. So now it's just basically up to those that have their bell notifications on so that they can be able to join the discussion. So I'm gonna wait. And then what I think I'll do is I'll put my logo up and I'll wait until they come. So I'm gonna put this little banner up real quick, on the right real quick. In the back of our live discussion. So I'm going to wait for live people to come in for a live discussion. So I'll put this up on the banner. Once people come in, then I will allow them into the live, into the chat. I'll put that up there right now. I'm going to wait for people to come in. 1 second here.
muted, and I don't think nobody can hear you. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or something. Yeah, but I can't hear you though.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. If you could, Brittany, can you turn up your microphone?
Yeah, let me see if I can make it do what it did.
Okay.
It's the highest that it can get, but can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really low, very low. And I got mine up to the loudest place.
Yeah, my phone is cracked. Is it really, really loud?
I can hear you. So, anyways, how you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to basically talk about gang stalking or
Okay.
community cop mobbing, dirsting, or whatever it's called, and what it is.
All right. Hey. Okay. Well, share your experience. What's been how have you been affected by this whole gang stalking experience?
Yeah, so ask questions, by the way. So yeah, how have I been affected by gang stalking? To be honest with you, I didn't become aware of what it was and what I had been going throughout my life, just not to a grave extent. I wasn't aware of it until um, June, July, and the reason why I became aware of it was because my relatives had put me in this from childhood. But what ended up happening was I had found a way to improve myself in an unnatural situation. Gang stalking is an unnatural situation, and if you don't know how to prevail, you'll fail, right? And when you do prevail, usually you prevail because you're learning how to move in a situation that shouldn't be in the first place. And so I prevailed. And when people that put me in this program, like my mother and my father, saw that I was prevailing, and other relatives that knew that that had placed me in this government situation, they found ways to try to block me out.
So I would ask you, how do you know that your family put you in the program?
Because they started to basically reveal themselves. It got to the point to where they were so pissed off with the fact that I came back and I was eating extremely clean, and I was very focused on being natural as opposed to what it pushed towards Black people specifically today. So I wasn't with the perm, I wasn't with the weave or the braid. Um, uh, and so because I was so different, and on top of that, my spirituality had increased, and they were aware of it. They went ahead and they also increased what they were doing. So that's a good question. Because had my mother specifically not did a lot of the things that she was doing that was intentional, it was too blatant and obvious. Even the things that she was saying, it was almost like to throw me off or to let me know that this is what we have been doing to you this whole time to make me question. Had she not done that, and the things that started happening after that, I would not have ever known that this type of a program existed. But because, like I said, because I had prevailed way greater than what they wanted or than what I should, or greater than the average individual intellectually, mentally, soulfully, that's when she went ahead and, did all this stuff.
So do you when did this happen? When did you start to acknowledge that you were a target individual?
In July. And I won't call it, I mean, we can call it target. Yeah, you could say that if that's, for the basis of the conversation, but in July.
So when you realize that these your family put you in, I guess you would say, this program, did you start to experience a whole bunch of the symptoms, like the things that we normally as target individuals say we go through?
Absolutely. So every job that I had got at that point, they were making it blatantly obvious that they knew things, that relatives would say. Not necessarily that they were true things either, but they were saying things that relatives would say in order to try to diminish my esteem. Which initially, like I said, I didn't even know it was a thing until what had been done with my folks had started being done with people outside of them and myself. And I was in a completely different state, and then it just started adding up because these same relatives was asking me, well, where are you moving to next? Where are you going? And then they would ask me, do I drink? And through all finding that out, I found out that they were pedophiles. I found out that they were into incest.
Okay.
And so part of the reason to try to shut me down and to basically hack everything and every device that I have, they don't want that to be exposed.
So did you find out? Sorry, did you find out that you was based off of like watching videos on YouTube? Did you find out like what, like you felt something that was, you know, in your reality that wasn't natural? You felt like something was off. So I know for myself, when I found out that I was a target individual, I knew that there was a whole bunch of stuff going on that I was acknowledging now that wasn't natural. People talking, saying things about my life that no one else can know. People just showing a lot of attention to me, maybe smiling and smirking, and it just weird, you know, like how relationships that I was in would just end kind of abruptly and weird, like out of nowhere when it seemed like everything was okay, and then all of a sudden it's just like everything changed. Like, did you go to videos to kind of see, like, did you go on the internet to kind of see on YouTube people's experiences to kind of make it make sense to you? Like kind of have, you know, kind of help you figure it out?
So what happened was there was people in the community that was actually letting me know.
Oh, they was letting you know?
Yeah, it was one lady. The first person that let me know was a friend of mine. And then the second person that let me know was an older lady in the community. I guess she just can't hold it. And then after that, it was people in certain stores that I would go to that would let me know, like, you know, be careful. You know, there's somebody that calls when you come in. Either they would verbalize it or they would write it on a note and kind of like give it to me because they didn't want to risk either their job or they were confused and they were scared or they were uncomfortable.
Okay, what were they? What were these messages actually saying to you?
With the ones in the note?
Yeah.
That somebody called. There was one dude said that I don't know what you got going on, but this is your second time coming in here, and somebody, a white lady, called, you know, what sound like it, called in and was basically telling us to monitor you or telling us to do certain things or react to you in a certain manner or to watch you in a certain way, or to treat you a certain way to get a specific reaction. And he had never heard of it. Right. So a lot of people who get into this, I don't know how it is that they're saying it to people to make them so comfortable with it, but he had never heard of it and he got uncomfortable. He got nervous. And he didn't tell me that the first time it happened. He told me that when I went into the store the second time. What he did say was that initially when they called the first time, they told him to go in the back or to pretend like he was talking about a product. But in reality, he wasn't talking about a product. He was listening to what the individual was saying, but it was wrong. Because he would be in my face.
So you basically experienced the traditional tactic that these perps use against us, where they start to speak on other things, but they're actually talking about things in their own life.
Well, no. So in that particular situation, I mean, is this a separate question from that?
No, it's you're saying that you noticed that there were certain things that these people you were given a note by somebody that was telling you that they were.
That was absolutely. So the note had nothing to do with them saying anything that was pertaining to my life per se, right? The note was him letting me know the whole psyop, so to speak.
The thing that was going on. Yeah.
Right. So he was just pretty much letting me know what was happening, and he did so because of his discomfort with what was happening. I also had a police officer who warned me. So this was a person that was in law enforcement. What happened was it was a person that kept following me. And so this is before I knew this was before I even paid attention to any of it, right? This is when I had first came back to the environment that I was in, that my folks saw that I was in, and then that's when they went ahead and unleashed what they unleashed. But or help the person who wanted them to help them unleash what they were unleashed. So the police officer, he was in an unmarked vehicle, and he was not in his regular clothes, which of course I found out once I pulled over. Thought that this person was gonna pass me. He did not. Right. So when I pulled over, he pulled over, rolled his window down, and was like, "Yo, park over here. I got something to tell you." So I'm like, "What the fuck? What you got going on?" And he was like, "Park over here. I got something to tell you." Now keep in mind, I recognized him, so I was like, "Okay." So I did, and he said, "Listen, I want you to be careful because you're gonna start seeing some strange things. You're gonna start seeing people that's gonna repeat things to you about you that you may or may not know. And if depending on how your mind is and how strong you are, and the fact that I'm forewarning you about what's going on, it depends on how you take it or let it take you." And this was law enforcement, but again, he did not have on his law enforcement clothes, but he let me know. He basically forewarned me ahead of time to be careful.
Okay, I gotta stop you there. I'm not stopping you for no other reason than just to be in completely bewilderment, because most targeted individuals, and this is amazing that this happened for you, and this is a blessing. Now, of course, this is Judah J's channel, and you know I don't trust nobody. I trust no one because of me being a target individual. So you can also understand, because of that, my apprehension. So I'm not questioning anything you're saying. This is just amazing to me because I have never. It's like, you know how you wish certain things would happen. Like you're like, wow, I wish that thing would happen, and that would just make my whole life so much better. What targeted individuals, and I'm sure yourself, you were in an insane circumstance where the cop actually told you what they were doing. We know these cops is perps. We know these cops are not for us, that they're in that program. They're like the gatekeepers. And they actually told you, they stopped you and told you, you need to watch your situation, paraphrasing, and you are going to go through some things that you are not possibly ready for, but just letting you know that this is what's going to happen in your life. You are going to become pretty much a target individual. That is beyond for people like us. So I want to really delve into this. When this person did this, like, how did you feel when you heard this from this person? Because this is not natural. They don't do this.
Well, but he was natural. He was in his natural state of mind. He wasn't being mind controlled, right? So
No, I believe that. No. He was trying to help you, but it's just so surreal to me. Like,
let me break
go ahead.
To you. So what it was with him was I was some individuals were familiar with me already within the environment that I was in, because I did speak up on certain things in regards to racial inequality or issues and so forth like that. So he knew that, my heart and everything as far as what it was that I was doing was in the right place. And he knew that what was being done was unjust. He also stated that he knew that this had happened to others that could not handle it.
Sorry, I'll be kind of cutting in every once in a while, but I'll let you keep going. Where did he know you from?
The community.
So he knew that he knew you from the community and said that he acknowledged that you were a person that was speaking against injustices towards people, right?
Right, or that I helped out, or whatever the case may be, or asked
questions.
Right.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. And so, because he knew that I wasn't a negative person, and he knew that I was involved in wanting to produce a form of betterment to disenfranchised individuals, he was like, he just couldn't let that sit on his conscience. Because what he did say was that he's seen this happen to other people. So in regards to you, which you initially stated, about him feeling comfortable to explain this to me, he did explain that he had seen this happen to other people, and he saw how it did them, and it messed with his conscience. And so, being that he had already had some familiarity with me, and knowing what type of person that I was, he couldn't feel right about letting that slide.
You know what? Hey, that is amazing, and that's the work of God, the Most High Yah. For him to actually put the boldness and the courage in that police officer to say that to you, because on this channel, Judah J says all of them are in the know of everything, and he just showed you he was in the know, but he actually went outside of what his protocol was to actually let you know you are in danger of being put in a situation as evil and crazy as this. So okay, so I would ask you now, since you have this information, you know life is not the way you thought it was, and you know that you are now a different person walking out here amongst people that might be not for you, that are trying to do things to set you up, to make you feel like you hemmed up, like you feel like. How do you feel now? How do you go about your everyday life with this information?
So what I will say is this, right? There's different reactions that people get. One of the things that one has to understand, whether you are the person that's being inflicted by this, if that's what you want to call it, a form of infliction, or you're the person that's outside of it. Anyone that has a brain that can think for themselves would know that something like this, because it's not real, it shouldn't really take the type of effect on you.
Hold on. I gotta stop you there. You said it's not real.
Right.
So you're saying it's not real?
Correct.
What's not real?
The behavior. It's scripted. And what I mean by scripted is everybody is scripted to behaving a certain way towards you. And so
okay.
They're giving information in regards to you and how to behave when it comes to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are an individual who's aware of these individuals who want you to believe either they're in the know of something that you're not, it kind of helps in a sense, because only a bottom feeder follows. You understand what I'm saying? A person who is of low energy, because once the person knows, it's kind of like the thrill is gone, or at least it should be gone for the individual trying to create some type of shock reaction from the individual. Also, people oftentimes like that, because they're so low in their energy, as a person who is aware, you can actually switch up their energy. You can switch up how they would choose to respond to you based on how it is that you respond. So, for instance, if you don't act the way, whatever way that may be, happy, sad, or whatever, up, down, whatever, if you're not acting in the way that they're trying to put out, you will see that they become something opposite of whatever it is that they were supposed to behave like. So in reality, these individuals are very much so controlled. They're very much so controlled. They're not only controlled by the information that they believe that they know about you. They're not only controlled by the people that is, or the society or group that is making them do this for whatever reason. And I say making, and I use that lightly in a sense, because you do have a choice. But in the sense, or in the case that they're choosing to be underneath this type of organization, they're being made to do this. And then on top of that, they're controlled by the reaction of the individual that they're doing this to. So these people are not free.
So go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So they're not free. So once you become aware of that, and it takes a person who is very much so aware of their environment, aware of themselves, to recognize that. And I'm not saying that all people who have experienced this will be aware of that, because a lot of people that get into these programs, unfortunately, are not mentally nor spiritually prepared. It just so happens to be that I was more so aware even before I was aware of all of this gang stalking type stuff, quote unquote, right? So, I mean, I was already in tune gang stalking that I was experiencing, but at low levels, I was isolating and purifying my energy and purifying myself and learning about myself and learning certain things. And, so I didn't have to deal with a lot of the distractions.
So let me ask you a question. So are you a person that isolates?
Of course.
Do you isolate because of this whole circumstance and situation?
So initially, like I said to you, I did isolate, right? It wasn't because I was aware of the program initially. Hello?
Yeah. Yep, I'm here. Hello? Hello? All right, so that was a really interesting conversation, and I hope that Brittany comes back. She was talking about isolation and how originally, because when she found out she was in the program, she started to, of course, isolate because she realized that her surroundings was not, it wasn't conducive to, being able to kind of like, it's hard to be in a surrounding, a situation where people are acting differently towards you and they're all around you doing it 24/7. Oh, Brittany's back. So I'm about to come back here once again. Let me add her to the stream. Brittany, you there?
I'm here. What's up? You can hear me?
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Okay, so I initially isolated because I was unaware of the fact that I was being, in some sense, targeted. There were certain things that I was seeing that I just was like, I would never put up with that. But see, the thing is, Jay, I not only so when the targeting was covert, I not only felt certain things that was addressed to me, I saw a lot of racial issues that were being addressed to African Americans. Period. See, the thing is that once they make it overt, one of the things that run this program do is they intentionally make it as though, if it is a race situation, if you are a person that's racially aware, they will try to make the Caucasians and the Asians and the African Americans, they'll try to make everybody in cohesion or in a state of cohesiveness together against you, so that the racism that is real in the workplace no longer exists because everybody has colluded with you. And because African Americans, unfortunately, have a desire due to the fact that they are also gang stalked, but as a collective, African Americans have a desire to be unified with a Caucasian or anyone who they deem as superior. And I'll get into that a little bit later as to why that is. But they feel comfortable with being able to oppress another individual in their own kind because it's like, whoo, thank God it's not me. And so that's the part of a conquer and divide tactic.
So, hey, everything that you just got done saying is most definitely divide and conquer. I would also interject and tell people that every nation, regardless of what race you are part of this program. And the reason why they're part of the program is not because there's some sort of agenda in that certain group of people. That is, I would just say, this is just me. Now, this is just what I believe. Now, you can tell me what you need to tell me. But it's not because there's a certain agenda in a certain race to do a certain thing against a certain people. The reason why everyone seems like they're against one another because we are in a spiritual situation where the agenda is to cause havoc and unrest and civil unrest across the whole world. But the best way to do it, is to make it seem like that there are people that should be against not just a specific person, but against certain. Well, yeah. It's to make it seem like there's someone in another nation or another race that's doing something specifically against you. When the whole thing, see, this is a satanic kingdom agenda. It's not like a normal. It's not like a race. One race has an agenda against another people, and then they're going to do these certain things against that people. No. This is Satan. His goal is to turn everyone against everyone. So that means that every race is involved in this targeted individual experience. That's why you can have gang stalkers that are what I say Israelites, which are the African American Negroes scattered to the four corners of the earth, or you can have Asians, whites, you can have all these people that are involved in this thing because it's a satanic program to make you feel like everyone is against you. What do you think about that?
So I disagree. However,
Okay.
I agree with the basis, and I'm explaining to you why race is involved, right?
Okay.
We have to look at the fact that race is involved because we live in a system where race is involved, and everything that is within the system where that is the pinnacle of it, it derives from it, right? So, gang stalking derives from racism, which is a Nazi program. And so here's how this works, right? The targeted individual is made to feel as though they are in some way inferior, correct?
Correct.
Right. And so the African American community has also been made to feel as though they are inferior, correct?
That's correct too.
Biologically, we are aware that African Americans are stronger than the people that are in supposed positions of power, correct?
Say it again.
Biologically, we know that African Americans are physically stronger than the individuals that are in positions of power, correct?
Physically, if you would like to say that.
So now, if you use that notion that is being used on a mass scale with a specific individual, then that means that that targeted individual is usually stronger than the people that's going against them. So here's how it is a racial thing, right? So most people that are in power are usually the most weakest energetically. They're the most weakest spiritually. They're the most weakest soulfully. And so therefore, any type of negative energy, demonic energies, reptilian energies that need to inhabit a body or inhabit a vessel has to go to the individual that is weakest. The individual that is weakest soulfully, because they don't have a soul level in the same way that African Americans do, are the Caucasian race. And this is the reason why they're easily inhabited by these demonic energies, which is the reason why their history in of itself has been demonic, right? So now, in order to convince everybody around these individuals that they are in power, they have to create false illusions of power, which is materialism, which is a form of an illusion. So what you have to do in order to not have the strongest group of people dominate, you have to suppress these individuals. By suppressing these individuals, not only do you make them feel inferior about their strength, but then you also
you kind of lost you there, Brittany.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. So you make them feel inferior socially as well because you keep them out of the illusions of materialism that was created to give the weak group of people power. And so now you give these weak individuals power and you lock out the strong people. Now the strong individuals have to now inhabit the behaviors, the schemes, the wickedness, the pedophilia, the homosexuality that's not done by birth, but through secret societies and organizations. They partake in the behaviors that they believe that the superior individuals who are made to appear superior based off of their materialistic gain. So they now feel as though they have to partake in these behaviors, and they now begin to be inhabited by the same demonic reptilian energy. And this is the reason why African Americans who partake in this gang stalking is oftentimes worse than the Caucasians in most cases, because they're not moving and operating in their natural state. They're actually African Americans actually have a soul. And so when you go against the soul that you naturally inhabit, you become worse towards your own kind because now you see a reflection of yourself that you not only hate from within yourself, you now hating it outside of yourself. This is
so you're saying that the power that exists in the African American or the Negro, the power that exists in them cannot actually manifest as long as they are influenced by those that don't have that same power in them.
Correct. So you can't
now here's the other situation. You said that a lot of what you said, yes, people see an image of what they think is going to give them some sort of success or give them some sort of place them on a level playing field. By imitation, you want to imitate that which you think is successful, and if
you're
that thing,
imitating a lower energy, and so therefore that is the reason why you see most African Americans who emulate Caucasians, they have a very low, nasty kind of like very, just in a sense, just evil type of energy, because they not only do they hate they hate themselves, right? This is the reason why when you have a slave master dynamic, the Caucasian slave master is usually more friendlier to the slaves than the slave that is right underneath his Caucasian slave master. He also hates himself. He hates the fact that you don't represent what he represents, or he doesn't really represent what he wants to represent, which is the slave master. It's a form of self-hate.
So hold on. So this is sort of like an analogy of the Uncle Tom that lives for his master, and hey, master, anything you want, master. I'll do anything for you as long as you okay, master. Basically, they are looking to please the master in any way, shape, or form, because that's that way of life that the master is presented to them is the only thing that's actually that has any worth, that has light. And if you don't emulate that master, then you are someone that's in error. Now, what I would say, hold on, what I would say is to add to that is this. On this channel, of course, sister, you are coming with some fire. And a lot of stuff you done said it's just reality, right? But I would say, now I'm not gonna make a blanket statement saying this is just what it is, because that's not what we do here. But I believe that not every Gentile, because I'm an Israelite, you're an Israelite, not every Gentile is of that mindset. So that means also that not every Gentile, I believe, is someone that doesn't have a soul. Hold on. I'll let you know. I'm gonna let you go off. You know, I'm gonna let you. I think that's above my pay grade to say that, you know, a whole group of people don't have a soul, because the Most High Yah said that there shall be Gentiles that shall worship him on his holy mount, which means because the Israelites, we are the light. We are the ones that took the oracle of God. We were given his oracles, which means we were given his commandments. And we were supposed to be the ones that live for him. Now, of course, you know, we didn't live for him. So now we're in a situation we're in. So we're supposed to be a light to these other people. But as far as this target individual thing goes, I have known, now this is just my belief. I don't believe anyone is really a target individual unless they're either an Israelite, which is the Negro scattered to the four corners of the earth, or a Gentile, which is not a Negro, that has been chosen by the Most High to at some point, or maybe even his line, maybe they don't even live until Christ comes back and his kingdom is set up on earth. But their line is going to be those that are found worthy to enter into his kingdom, because he said that there will be Gentiles. So there are some Gentiles that do have that connection with Christ. Not all of them are like what you would say is soulless, but I completely understand the fact that most of these dudes is completely against us. What do you think?
So, of course, and the ones who, because I was going to get to that, the Caucasians and other nations of people who do have a bit of energy, soulful energy to them, who cannot be completely inhabited by negativity and evil energy to do wickedness, they also get gang stalked. This is the reason why initially with the whole gang stalking thing, to be honest with you, Caucasians were gang stalked individually more than African Americans were individuals. African Americans were targeted, especially, you know, back when this all started, they were targeted in a mass, meaning the entire group of individuals, because of their strength and their spiritual and soulful ability. Caucasians are targeted individually because there's just not many of them that have that natural gene of compassion and empathy. They just don't have it. And for those who do have a bit of a soul, who can think and feel and not want to worst. These are some of the ones who, you see bruises and stuff all over their body. You see, they most of them end up dead and dying horribly. Whereas, to be honest with you, African Americans, from my perspective, what they're targeting is not as worse as the Caucasians. And the reason why I believe the Caucasians who do get targeted the worst, depending on their situation and their energy, is because the people who have inhabited the bodies of the individuals that look like them, that run the society, feel as though they're committing a form of treason. It's like, hey, I'm sitting here providing you with all of this, and you want to have feelings. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
and then again, when it goes to the African Americans who choose to partake in this type of behavior, and those who try to come up or do come up systematically with this behavior, they're often just negative, but they also need those individuals because they serve as the power. They're the true power, right? They're the true power. However, the illusion of the power is coming from the Caucasians that's being inhabited by the demonic reptilian energy. Because again,
now,
it's easily inhabitable.
Let me stop you.
Create this boule. The reason why they one second, real quick. The reason why they create the boule is because they do need the true power to back them and to build for them and to create for them, because they're not builders and they're not creators. They build. And unfortunately, these individuals, when they say that these people selling their soul, they're talking about these African Americans who have a soul that's giving that away in exchange for the illusion of power and losing their real power. And a lot of these people go out their damn mind. And for some of the ones who do have somewhat of a conscience, this is the reason why you do see a lot of them try to wear their hair natural, or they, try to promote all of this pro-blackness, but still doing things that promote an agenda that goes against them and their kind. It's still genocidal.
Hey, and that boule, those are the gatekeepers. Just for people that don't know what Brittany's talking about, they are the gatekeepers in the Black community that are in these secret societies. A lot of them get involved in this in the fraternities in college. You see them doing the step work, and they're doing all the little dances and stuff. They get in these secret societies. They form a brotherhood, and then they're the quote unquote blacks. Of course I know the Israelites that get these highfalutin jobs and positions of power. And when they get in that position of power, they have the ability to be able to basically have power over the perception, the message that's given to the Black, to us, basically. And so they basically navigate and shape the opinions and shape the way that Black people think about certain topics that go on in America or across the world. And so you have these people, gatekeepers, these boules, these secret society Black people that want to, these Freemasons, all these people that are in Prince Hall, and all these people, these Eastern Stars, and basically they get these jobs. They're pretty much let in to that brotherhood, that white brotherhood, basically Caucasian brotherhood, right? But they're not totally accepted as being in the higher echelon. They're not like level playing field with these people, but they're part of the brotherhood, which means that they have to carry out the agenda that is of these people. So they come to us, and anything that the people that are in power, in these secret societies, they say, okay, we want you guys to believe this way. So then the boule, they basically have their people like Roland Martin and all these people on the news and the media, and they come out and they say, okay, well, you guys need to believe this way, vote Democrat. You need to do this. And then because of that, we think they're people that are knowledgeable, they have education, they have all these good intentions for us, right? And so then now, of course, we're going to follow naturally the path that they want to create for us. So when Brittany talks about that, you guys, it's real. And that's the thing, like the slave master. It's basically not the slave master. It's like the Uncle Tom. It goes back to, in the Bible, it says that there's nothing new under the sun. So basically you have the Uncle Tom that's basically trying to keep all those that are in the slavery doing all the work, trying to keep them in line so the master can keep them doing what he wants them to do. So Brittany, I would ask you this. Since you're on point with everything that you're saying, I would ask you this: who are we? Who are target individual? Who do you think we are? Hold on. I think I've seen some videos, and I've mentioned this on my channel before. They keep saying chosen, 144. You know about the whole Israelite thing, how we're now learning that we are truly the Israelites in the Bible. I don't know if you believe that, but you can elaborate on it a little bit later. But they're saying all this chosen stuff, but I'm like, I never say that because that's like a sacred thing to me. And I haven't been told by the Most High Yah that I'm chosen. I've been told that I'm an Israelite by reading His word. Prophecy shows me I'm an Israelite. You know, I believe that Gentiles can come and worship High in His holy mountain and be saved, which regardless of you white, black, whatever you are. But I believe there's certain promises that are linked to the Israelites, which is us. They shall be our servants. I believe that. I'm not saying, oh, we're gonna do evil to you like you did to us. That's not what, because that's not our God. But He's gonna rule with an iron fist. So that if they get out of line in His kingdom, they're going to be dealt with. But what I would say is right now, in this dispensation, who are we to have people come against us in this way, in this fashion, so intricately thought out, planned out? Everywhere we look, there they are. Everything we do, there they are. We're at a job. They're trying to sabotage us. These people, who are we?
So before I get to that, I want to say something real quick about the Boule, right? Or the Black people that partake in this type of behavior. One of the things that I do want to say is that a person who does stuff like that, especially when it has been done to their ancestors, that is a person whose mind has broken. It has been split, and therefore the conscience of their oppressor has now taken over and inhabited their mindset. So these people are doing to you what has already been done to them. They too are targets. It's just that now, since they've been broken down so much, and they see that you may not be broken down, even if you do not have financially as much as they may have, or whatever the case may be. A lot of these people can't rest because they know that they got what they got doing all types of evil. So these individuals want to take your joy. They want to steal from you what was stolen from them, their soul and their mind. And this is the reason why they inflict it. This is how they get peace. This is how they get happiness. It's like almost a form of initiation. They had to go through it, so now they want to put someone else through it. And because they feel like they have been given some form of sense of power by the people who they're trying to emulate, they now want to feel like they are those individuals. It's a person. It's a slave, essentially.
They think they're gods, huh?
Black people who partake in this are slaves. They're the slaves that sold out their own time. But they're slaves, they're modern day slaves because they're controlled. Not only are they controlled based off of their actions, but they know too much. You know too much. So everything about what you got going on, not only is it tapped, not only do you have to do these gestures when a targeted individual is around, you are a slave. You have to do this. You cannot think for yourself. You can't behave for yourself. You have to act.
What? Right? Hold on. What's making them do that? Tell me. This is where I think you're going to say there's a inclusion of the spiritual realm and the physical. What's making them have to do that?
Great question. It is
Are they being? Is there something in the spiritual realm that's making them do this? Like, is there something that's telling them if they don't act in this certain way, then there's going to be repercussions?
It's not. I don't think. No. So here's so I'm gonna explain to you the physical, and then I'm gonna explain to you the spiritual realm in regards to why they do this. So what ends up happening in the physical realm, because these individuals have believed, going back to the initial point of the conversation, the illusion of power lies in a certain group of individuals who are weaker than them, who are inhabited by weak, wicked energy. They then take on that energy, or they at least work hard to get what it is that they want to get that is assimilated or similar to the individuals who they have began to worship, right? So now what happens is they start to gain all these material things, and to lose these material things because they have now attached themselves to the false illusion, materialism, which is not real. These beings that reach out to them with blackmail and or bribe let them know if you don't get in line, we can take your shit. Right? So because these individuals have had the feeling of supposed power, to fall from that supposed grace is to them a disgrace. And so therefore they're going to do anything that they can to hold on to that illusion. It's, again, blackmail and bribe. and or they have done some nasty, wicked things to get to what it is that they've got. Or you have people who are just in a very low state of mind, energy, and financial stability. And these individuals are willing to do whatever it is that they can do in order to gain what they feel is power. Once you give a person who ain't never had shit something and they feel like they can possibly lose it, a lot of the times they lose their mind before they'll lose their material gains. And so that's what a lot of these people have done. They've lost their motherfucking mind. Now, the spiritual aspect comes in because what you're doing is evil. And the more that you continue to do this, the nastier those individuals become. Because anytime they run across somebody that is a clean spirit, a clear spirit, a person who's not wanting to do all of that, they envy that because they know that you are not tied to that same blackmail and bribe. So the envy of you not being tied to whatever they're tied to, and you still having some form of purity, makes them want to attack you for still having it. Right? Now, the question that you asked as far as who we are, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So in regards to who we are, so based on my experience and what I saw my mother and my sister in particular, the whites of their eyes turned bloodshot red whenever they got angry that I wasn't falling into whatever traps and snares that they were pushing. And so when they didn't think I was looking, the whites of their eyes turned bloodshot red. And whenever they saw, or whenever my head turned in a full direction towards the face of them, their eyes went back to, whatever regular color that it was before it turned bloodshot red. Not bloodshot red like they're sleeping. I mean blood bright red, like as though it was a light that was turned on and then it just turned off once I started looking their way. My mother, when she did it, she turned around and started wobbling from side to side and said, when she did it, when she turned around to look at me, she said, and started wobbling, and her eyes were bloodshot red. And when I turned completely around to face her, she started smiling. The bloodshot redness of the eyes went away, or the flashlight redness of the eyes went away. And she goes and says, hi, and starts looking all crazy. So who I think we are based off of what they show themselves to be, the true individuals that are targeted are individuals who have empathy. These individuals do not like empathetic people. They mock that. The reason why they don't like it, but they choose to mock it, not only do they mock it, but they mimic it, right? Because they want to be, they want to appear to be godly beings because they are less than God. The devil is less than God. Anybody that partakes in devilish behavior is less than a God. It's low energy. This is the reason why they have to, in mass, attack a high energy being. A true high energy being. I ain't talking about these fake ass targeted individual, right? So now the true targeted individual is you see a person who has an upright character, who likes to help, who has morale, who's not criminal. These individuals do not like the fact that you are not like them. Basically, going back to why I said that they gang stalk via blackmail and bribe, and it turns into a spiritual battle. They don't like your purity. They don't like that you have what they've lost. They don't like that you genuinely have what they have to mimic out in public to be. So most targeted individuals who are genuinely targeted are usually empathetic individuals, creative individuals. They're usually intelligent individuals. These people are not that because they're inhabited by low energy. All they can do is rob, break, and steal, and then claim your shit as it's their own, and it's not.
So do you, so would you,
and I'm gonna tell y'all a story about Kanye West.
One second before we go there, you on it, because I was just going to ask you about that in 1 second after I asked you this question. Do you think that you were talking about your family and how they have the way about them? Do you think that they made a decision to actually accept that spirit in their life, or do you think that that's just the way that they are, or they're out for some sort of physical type of material gain? So the question is, did they accept something did they accept the spirit by making an oath with the spirit, or is this something that is just for material gain, and they said, okay, well, they're gonna watch this person, okay, we'll watch them, and that's my child, but I'm still gonna watch them because I want some money? Or did they say, like a long time ago, make some sort of covenant with Satan? What do you think? And then you can go on to the Kanye West thing.
Yeah, it goes back to what I said.
Keep talking, because I'm gonna pause myself for a sec. Keep talking though, okay?
Sure. If I run out, it's because I ain't got nothing else to say on that. But
okay,
it depends on what basically goes back to what I said. Everything that's in the spiritual manifests in the physical, and vice versa. To be honest, with you, things that's in the physical can manifest in the spiritual. What it is that you choose to delve in can affect your spirituality. It can affect your spirit. So when again, you as and you didn't specify race, you did place your host. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Hey, can y'all hear me? Type of one if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think they can hear me.
Oh no, they can hear you. You on? But
okay.
Hold on. Brittany's speaking right now. More than a conqueror. Just hold tight, and then I will put you on. Okay.
It looks like you put me in the back.
No. Brittany, okay, you on? Hold on 1 second.
All right, cool. So it manifests. So a person who is greedy, materialistically, who still tries to cling to be honest with you, anything that's not real, but more so systematic. These individuals are prone to partaking in these behaviors, which can affect their spiritual state because they don't want to lose what they have. So when you have individuals who are attached to the material possessions that the heathens have created as a form of control, then you can be controlled. I mean, for instance, if you have a person who's attached to having an apartment or attached to having a house or attached to having a car, these individuals, if they lose that and they are threatened of losing that or threatened or given the benefit of the possibility to gain that, these individuals start to gain stuff. They'll start to gain stuff too because they don't want to lose that. They have attached themselves to something that's unnatural, that was created by someone unnatural, who behaves unnaturally.
You know what? Hey, no. That's actually now think about this. Think about the fact that this is an experience that people are having, a spirit that's taken over them, and where a lot of them don't even acknowledge that they are a part of the program. Because I used to think, now this is just my opinion, that everyone is a part of the program, and they have an acknowledgement of something that of an oath or some sort of agreement that they made with people that are in front of this thing to put other people in the program. They know what they're doing. You're going to be a gang stalker. You're going to watch this person at this time do this certain thing, and that's the way it's going to be. I used to think that they had an acknowledgement of it, but see, here's the thing. There are people that are splinter cells in this community that don't have any, they're under huge mind control, and they get maybe taken to certain places to learn certain things. New age principles is what I know it is. Basically they're doing these kundalini worships, third eye. They're opening the third eye. They're doing this ancestral worship. They're doing this stuff, right? That's not of God, the doctrine of the devils. And they're taken to these certain places, and they're told basically to go against God, the Most High God. And they're told to do or perform some sort of agenda and be a part of their agenda that they create, the ones in power that they create. And then here's the thing. My belief is at some certain point, these people are given a cue or some sort of signal in which now they are powerless against, in which they go out and they perform these things, these acts. And these acts are, of course, maybe violent, dangerous, violent towards people. And then they have no knowledge of it. You look at they add, and that's the reason why a lot of them get taken out and killed. Like a lot of them before they go to court. You ever notice how these people that do these horrible things, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, where are they at? No, they got killed by the cop. He got killed. She got killed because they don't want these people to actually have a voice and actually express what actually happened or like who put them up to it. So I'm thinking on this. This is what I'm just thinking. I'm thinking that some of these perps and these gang stalkers, regardless of what their nationality or whatever is, I'm thinking that they are put under this whole certain mind control, and that they are so under that they don't know what they did. And it's not just that everyone just knows actively, I'm doing this because I want this money, I want this gift card, I want my rent paid, I want my car paid. Some people don't even know until somebody does a signal, and then all of a sudden they're activated and they go out and they're sell and they carry these things out. Okay. 1 second. So I'm gonna bring in More Than a Conqueror. Brittany, stay there. Hey, Brittany, I'm just gonna tell you this right now, Brittany. Please come on my channel whenever you see my thing come on. My push the if you haven't pushed the like the bell notification, please do it. So whenever if you're at the crib, wherever you're at, if you want to talk, you can always come on this channel because the stuff you done shared is amazing, and this is going to help a lot of people out. And I want to let you also know before I pass it on, when you share information like this, and you actually are uplifting the Most High Yah's people, and you're actually giving them strategies and tips and just things to use to help themselves, he is blessing you. He's writing it down in the kingdom of his kingdom, and you will be blessed. Because this is a channel for the Most High. I am a targeted individual 1000%. I've gone through everything I'm telling you. There's no perp, none of that here. So when you do that, Most High Yah's with me. So he's with you as well. I already know.
Well,
Whenever you see this link come on, you come on this channel. For real. You are welcome. All right. Now you got hold on. I'm gonna keep you on. I'm gonna mute you. More Than a Conqueror. Are you there?
I am, brother. Shalom.
Shalom, brother. How you doing, Ak?
Oh man, hey, all praises to the Most High. I am blessed. Blessed. I just walked into the house, and it just so happened that I got your notification, and I caught the sister's, testimony and what she was going through and how she explained the gang stalking program to a T. That sister Brittany is pretty much on point. She, I can tell that the Most High has opened up her eyes as He has opened up yours as well. And so this is the fiery trial that seems strange that we're going through. This is the Antichrist spirit making war against the saints, as it is mentioned in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 21. And the whole system, the whole Masonic pyramid society is against the Most High's chosen. You know what I mean? We already know who the Israelites is. And we're starting to wake up to our identity. So the enemy knows his time is short, because when the Israelites begin to wake up and we begin to, reassume our roles as the royal priesthood, that spiritual leadership in society, then the last shall be first and the first shall be last. The tables are about to turn, and they know that's happening. Judgment is coming on the Babylonian states of America, and they're trying to stop it. They can't stop the Holy Spirit, so they feel as if they'll attack the vessels of the Holy Spirit. And this thing is spiritual. It's also social political, because you have the Department of Justice in on it. They're rubber stamping these community watch list, applications through the FISA court and through the fusion centers. You have Department of Defense also in it, using fallen angel technology. And I'm not sure, well, I do know you're well versed with the book of Enoch and how this is nothing new. You know what I mean? People call it monitoring spirits, but whether you say monitor or watcher, those are just synonyms to describe the exact same entities that we've been dealing with all along, the fallen, wanting to create an antichrist system here on earth to oppose the Most High. And so, I'm glad that we got brothers like yourself that's on the forefront, leading the charge in this battle, man, because we need this. We need some, real people who's unafraid, don't have that spirit of fear, but power, love, and wisdom to show people how to fight this battle. Because if you don't have the right methods, if you don't allow the Holy Spirit to teach your hands how to war, you will lose. That's what it's designed to do, is to degrade you. To the word devil itself means to devalue, to bring you down from where you was. They've already fallen from grace, and they want us to be down in the gutter with them. I refuse to go. You know what I mean? The things I've gone through as a targeted individual will blow your freaking mind, but it's all true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I believe you. And it's no, and here's the thing, I'm more than a conqueror. Thank you for everything that you have just said. Thank you for acknowledging that this thing that we are going through, we can't make it through this thing without the Most High Yah. I will continue to say this. If the enemy is dealing with a power that is real, that can actually change things in our reality, what power must we deal with to combat that? We can't just, I'm going to get mad at this person and knock this person out. I'm going to get mad at this person and try to film them on camera and put it on YouTube. And that's just what's going to, these people don't care. It's the Matrix. It's the Matrix. Basically, that part, and I always put this in all of my videos. Not all of my videos, but I put in a lot of my videos where that spirit comes in when Morpheus takes Neo into the Matrix. And then all of a sudden that spirit, he says, well, how do you know you're dealing with a normal person? Look again. And then the woman is that had the red dress turns into the smith with the gun. So basically these spirits come into these people. If there's no relationship with the Most High Yah, if these people haven't made a connection with Christ and he's their savior, that died for them at Calvary and washed their sins away, they are an open door to become a portal for demonic entities to come in. And now they will do the bidding of the wicked kingdom, of Satan's kingdom. And they may not even have knowledge of what they're doing. Because when you're taken and possessed by a demonic spirit, think about it like that movie, Jordan Peele, Get Out. I keep saying the same stuff, but it's the real. That you've seen that movie, Jordan Peele, to Get Out. The dude sitting in the chair, the woman has the cup, she has the little she has the spoon. She's like, go to sleep. He goes and he falls back, and you see he's like in some sort of outer space type of environment. Now he's looking, and her face is getting further and further away, and she's still talking to him. He still hears it, but he's yelling, and he can't make any connection or contact with her because now he doesn't have control of his faculty. Which means that these demonic entities, these spirits want to, and here's the secret, they want to take control of our bodies. I don't know if you guys see my last video that I just made today. These demonic spirits, the whole game, they want to take control of our vessels and then walk on the earth as these people that look like humans, but are not, that are possessed. You might even have that person that's in that body that lost control of their faculty now, screaming out in just complete utter, just horrific, they can't control what the spirit is doing. The demonic spirit's leading them. And I'm just having this feeling like, maybe people are now that are possessed by Satan and we think are so evil and crazy and like, man, they're possessed. What if that person's still in there and seeing the whole thing happen while this demonic spirit is taking over? What do you guys here's a question. Here's my question. I'll just go I'll go to a More Than a Conqueror again, and then I'll go back to Brittany. What do you think is the long-term goal for the targeted individual community as far as those in power? What do you think their goal is for us? Why are we such a threat to them? Why are we such a threat to them? More Than a Conqueror. Can you hear me, More Than a Conqueror? More Than a Conqueror, you still there? Okay, Brittany, are you still there? Okay. So anyways, Brittany, More Than a Conqueror, if you're still there, let me see. More Than a Conqueror, who's there? Brittany, you still there?
I'm here.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, you said what's the long-term goal?
I'm wondering what the long-term goal for this thing is.
So here's how this works, right? So basically, again, gang stalking is a physical thing, but it's also a spiritual thing, right?
Mhm.
You have individuals. There's information about you that is spread throughout a chat, right? And this information may or may not be real, but if enough people gather together and say that it is, then that's just what it is, because people are looking for a reaction so that they can get some type of gain or benefit from that reaction, right? So
Mhm.
you have people that either believe the lies or they want to believe the lies. However, I don't know how that's even possible when you know that the entire program of this is based off of lies or an exacerbation of truth, which is still not true, right? So now, what I want to say in regards to the long-term goal is they want you to be disenfranchised because they want to take your good quality. Now, for those who are not immediately gaining anything based off of your persona, such as the everyday gang stalkers, now they might repeat certain things that you say as a way. It's two reasons why gang stalkers repeat what you say. Either they understand that you're somewhat of a high value individual and they want to let you know, bitch, you ain't the only one. So if you say this word, I'm going to say it too, because they want to be on your level of rationale, understanding, energy, basically. Because energy houses spirituality, intellect, um, and everything else that creates your person, right? Your character. So these individuals will try to mimic that energy either out of mockery or they'll try to mimic it out of envy to let you know that you're not the only person that is able to carry yourself in this manner. I wanted to speak on Kanye West
Go ahead.
because Kanye West's situation is, yeah. So basically, what happened with the whole Kanye West situation, when he got with the Caucasian woman that he got with, what ended up happening is that they started draining his energy. And it goes back to the African Americans valuing Caucasian low vibrational energy based off of what they feel that these individuals obtain material. Okay, thank you. You too. So what they do is they end up getting with these white women or these white men again because there's a feeling of inferiority within the so-called black person that does. The Caucasian also has an inferiority complex, which is the reason why they want to take your energy. What they did was they took his energy and then got off on seeing him break down and become like a zombie. So what ended up happening, because he was losing his creativity, his energy wasn't there, dealing with this Caucasian woman, he was ranting more so than he was creating. Let me tell you what they did. So when I started getting gang stalked by these people in these producers, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, government, whatever, they started giving my persona to Kanye West. Not only did they do it with Kanye West, they kind of gave over some information, a persona or a part of my persona to Kyrie Irving. What I mean by that? So I was on the phone and I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was basically saying if the people that's highly in the media right now is me, Kanye West, and Donald Trump. After that, everything that I was saying, they would give it to Kanye West in regards to me talking about Israelites. They started pushing him talking about Israelites and Jews. I was saying what it is that I got in my bank account or what it is that I have outside of my bank account. All of a sudden, they're talking about Kanye West and saying he got 100,000 or 10 million or whatever in his bank account. When I speak on the spiritual aspect of what's going on, all of a sudden Kanye West speaking on spirituality, I'm saying I'm a targeted individual. All of a sudden Kanye is saying he's a targeted individual. So I'm a Gemini, and my personality fits in a sense with his persona because he was also very outspoken before they drain and very pro of his race before they drained his energy. So using a Caucasian woman. So now they use a so-called African American or Israelite woman to now give this nigga some new energy. And that person is me. So they basically started using my energy to give to him and then want to go around and tell everybody that I'm crazy or I'm dirty or all these, making up all this stuff to mask my gift, giving it to somebody else who's already sunken. Like Kanye West's soul is sunken. Like, let's just keep it G. You know what I'm saying? I was helping people in the community. All of a sudden, they talking about Kanye West trying to help black people. He's trying to say to black people, like they were using my energy for this man. And I'm not knocking Kanye West, because one thing that I won't do is try to openly disparage a black person who's being used. He's being used and abused and raped and taped. Y'all think we being watched as TIs? They are too. These celebrities that get gang stalked because they are too pro of their race. These black people that got strength in their mind and they got their pockets right. A lot of the times they target those types of people because when you're black in this country, they don't want you to have the two M's together, bitch. You cannot be an Eminem. You gotta have one of the M's or no M. Either you're gonna have money with no mind or you're gonna have a mind with no money. They don't want you having the two because they feel like you can cause a revolution. This is the reason why they're trying to tear down your character. So nobody will want to join you in what you got going on because they feel as though you are a force and you could spark something in people. And so they basically shot that down with Kanye West, and like I said, gave a boy my energy.
So let me say this. These celebrities like Kanye West. Now they are, of course, they've taken oaths, and they are those that have made decisions to follow another master, so to speak, for the zooms and the whams of this world. They are completely aware that they received their zooms and whams and gifts with a penalty, with a price to pay. There is a consequence for what they've done, for their actions. Now, what I was thinking with Kanye is that, of course, he talks about the uplifting of his brethren, saying he's an Israelite, which is the truth. But then he still is running for the president of the United States, which means that he still wants to stay in this construct. And when I talk about the construct, I'm talking about the Matrix. The Matrix is a lie. The Matrix is something we need to get out of in order to get our freedom. So Kanye West, he wants to tell his people who they are, but then he sort of wants to stay in the construct and run for the presidency and say that he's trying to change things in a place which is going to be destroyed. This is Babylon. And so if this is Babylon and it's going to be destroyed, then why are you trying to do things to prevent its destruction? This is the work of the Most High Yah. This is the work of God. This is the time where Babylon gets destroyed. So here's the thing with me, with Kanye, and this is what makes me know that this whole thing is much more complex than you think. The Most High Yah is in control of this whole thing. It says in the Bible that he creates the good and the evil. So basically, he will use those that are doing evil even for his purposes. So someone like Kanye, if we're thinking, what's his real purpose? What's his real motive? Is he really for us, or is he really trying to do some? Is he following some agenda that the satanic elite is actually creating in order to reel us in? Don't even worry about it, because here's the thing: the Most High Yah's word is coming through. He wants his people to be known as being who they really are, which are the children of the Most High Yah. This is what's being revealed in the last days of time, even through Kyrie and Kanye. So regardless of what Kanye's intentions are, regardless if he's trying to set the Israelites up as to say, okay, well, if they took my money away from the bank, then if you speak out against anything, then they'll take yours away. Basically, what he's saying. If this is just their agenda, trying to use this figurehead to be that face of that big person with all this influence and money, and say, oh yeah, well, he lost all his money and he's Kanye West, and he didn't say anything other than 2 words. Or Kyrie just posted a link on the internet, and then all of a sudden he has to apologize to everyone, pay everybody back, and go on this whole apology tour. If they want the masses to see that if you speak out against what their agenda is or who they are, they will punish you. So now it's like this, okay? Kanye did all this, and I'm going to be the first one, or not the first one, because you just basically said it for me. He is not for us. because he is still making moves that make it seem like he is for them. He's trying to feel. He's basically being as wise as a dove, as harmless as a dove, but as wise as a serpent. But for the other side. So when it comes to Kanye, I believe that he's direct proof. He's direct proof that if you don't have discernment in these times, you will not make it. Because that's very convincing what Kanye and Kyrie are doing. I don't know if they've Kyrie. I don't know if I've seen stuff on his hands and tattoos and all that, whatever. I don't know if he's just a young guy that's searching, whatever. But if you don't have discernment, you ain't making it in this. And you're a targeted individual, you ain't making it in this. My question is this, and this goes to More Than a Conqueror. Brittany, stay there, please. Please stay there. More Than a Conqueror. Are you still there? You still there, More Than a Conqueror? Let me know. You still there? It says you're still there. Let me see. Hold on one second. More Than a Conqueror. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Gotcha, I hear you. So here's my question to you. Okay, with everything that we go through as targeted individuals and all of the work that it takes these people to do this thing, to create this thing, do you think that Israelites are the only ones that are true targeted individuals? I know me and Brittany just discussed that, but I want to hear it from you. Do you think that Israelites, because of who we are, because of who the Most High God made us, do you think it's a lie when you see on YouTube? Let me expand this question. Do you think it's a lie when you see on YouTube these other nations, and I would say white people, Asian, everybody else, right? Do you think it's a lie that what they're doing? Are they lying to us? Is it just for show? Is it just to bring us into some new age type of spirituality? What do you think?
Well, you got to be careful because it's a double entendre. So there are a lot of fakes. There's more fakes than there are the real thing. You know what I mean? It's always been like that. Gold is very rare. You know, the book of Second Esdras speaks about that, you know. But I would say, you know, when it comes to others that serve the Most High in spirit and in truth, I just refer to what the words say. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'll give you what the words say. And in book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 17, it says, first, the dragon makes war with the Israelites. You know what I mean? With the woman, represented by the, 12 star crown, the 12 tribes of Israel. But when the Most High protected Israel, then he goes after the remainder of the seed, talking about the seed of Christ that hold fast to the faith and remain true to the commandments and to, you know what I mean, the belief in Yeshua HaMashiach. So I would say that based on what the word tells us, that there are, you know, a handful of those that have faith, like the centurion or the Roman centurion that, you know what I mean, wanted his child to be healed. But how true is that? I mean, in the capacity of, you know, it's widespread throughout the Gentile. I would say it's very few of them. Most of them have gotten to know the clone version of the Mashiach. You know what I mean? The Caesar Borgia ideal that, you know, loves everybody. This guy who looks like he just got out of Bath and Body Works, you know what I mean? And just got a pedophile, this very feminine, emasculated version of Christ that people love, the real version of Christ and what he really taught. People hated him. They hung him on a tree like they did our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? And when you come with that real spirit of Christ, they'll be ready to hang you on a tree too, on a proverbial tree. It may be an actual real tree where I'm at because I live in Louisiana. But that's just my take on it, brother.
Hey, so whenever we are seeking for truth, I love what More Than a Conqueror did. He just went to the scripture. If there's somebody not going to the scripture in these days, you better leave them alone. You leave them alone because you will be taken for a ride. People are not for you. People want to mislead. So whenever somebody is speaking to you, this is just my you watch, you see if they're leading you to the Most High Yah's word, Yahushua Mashiach, which some people call Jesus Christ. Here's my other question, and I want to say I love this conversation. Please like, share, subscribe. Those that are coming to the channel, if you're in here, push the thumbs up. Even if you don't like this video, push the thumbs up or push the thumbs down, because that still leads people to the actual channel. We need to have these discussions. We need to be able to chop it up with one another and to build. Even in this community where nobody I know, most people don't even trust nobody. I understand. And that's cool, right? I'm not coming to your house and you ain't coming to mine. And like I told you before, I don't trust none of you. I don't trust none of you, but I love you. And that's the real because of what I've gone through. Like everybody in here, we've gone through. If you a real one, you've gone through some stuff you cannot express. Nobody's gonna believe you. You're crazy. That's what they're gonna say. So I love you. Everybody comes to this channel, bless you. But I don't, hey. Anyways, if you want to be a part of this this discussion, please click on this link. And on this link, you will be able, and it's in the chat right now, so don't even trip. There should be more than 3 people in here. I got 12 people in here right now that says it's watching. There's been more people have been coming through. But I need you to like, share, subscribe, and also click on this link and come into this conversation. You can share your experience. Nobody's gonna judge you. Give us some insight. We're the community that needs people to give us insight on how we're supposed to deal with this. So there needs to be people in here. Whenever you see, push the like, push that bell notification, even right now. So whenever you see me on here, you can, if you have the time, and we can discuss this stuff. If whatever you're going through, just let us know how you're dealing with it, so that we can get some tips for ourselves. Because we are not normal people in this world. We are going through some stuff, and we need to hear this. So, anyways, here's the question, and this is something that I also want to pose first to Brittany. And then I want to come to More Than a Conqueror. And anyone else that wants to come on the stream, just click on in the private chat. You can see you can just tap on the StreamYard link, or you can, if you don't see it there, you can put this in your browser. Here's my question. So here's a real question, and this might kind of go outside of what we're talking about. Died suddenly. Are the perps and the people that serve the following being judged now? You've seen the videos where they're falling out and they're falling out. They're seeing this image when they're turning around and they're seeing this thing that seems like it's a demonic entity or some sort of something. The Bible talks about Revelation 9:11-15, where the 6th trumpet's going to be blown. And so now I'm thinking, and it says 1/3 of all humanity is going to be destroyed. Is this the beginning? Is this what's happening right now for those that maybe have not accepted Christ, those that are doing this evil stuff like against us? Is this what's happening now? Brittany, what do you think about that?
So, to the specifics of that, because that's very specific. It's almost it's almost like in the book of Revelation, that specific. And I don't think that we've gotten to a point where it's that specific. I do believe that, though, to an extent, it's happening where you see people either have sicknesses, physically, mentally, emotionally. There's just so many different things where you can see that a person is afflicted in some way or another. And when I say afflicted, I don't mean afflicted by removing themselves from society, right? Because one thing that people like to do is they like to say people who are off the grid individuals are afflicted. No, those people just choose not to be boxed in. But you do have people that choose the route that they're choosing, and they are afflicted. And your lack thereof affliction will bother them, right? And so this is where you see people who are genuinely targeted. Anything that is out of place with them or appears to be out of the norm or the construct that was given to the group that they're anything that is out of place with that individual is going to be exacerbated. So you have these individuals who will exacerbate the negativity of the targeted individual, but it's only a reflection of the individual's inferiority complex. They're trying to make you feel bad because you're making them feel bad. So that, I think that's more of the revelatory experiences that I've seen. Anybody who will partake in trying to say things to trigger a person to do things that they believe might be truth about the individual, it's because you're making the people around you feel uncomfortable. And it could be because you're intellectual, it could be many of things. But that's more of the things that I see.
Okay. What do you think more than the concrete? One second here. One second. One second. Let me see. Let me unmute you. Okay, there you go. What do you think more than the concrete?
All right. I think right now, this is just my opinion. I can't say, and definitely because the Holy Spirit have not given me, an answer concerning that. But I would say, based on my observation, I would say they're being judged independently right now. It haven't come to the collective of the nations being judged as a whole, because that is going to happen eventually, and that's when we'll be freed and vindicated and go back into our own spiritual land. But for now, I think the Most High is allowing their cup of iniquity to be filled up based on the evil things that they're doing against him and his his chosen elect. And I believe that at some point in time, their consciousness gets seared and they get, given over to a reprobate mind. And those demons that once, enticed them and made them believe as if they were there to help them gain power, wealth, success, whatever, turns on them. You know what I mean? Because a devil, a demon, a fallen angel isn't there for their good. But a lot of these people, they've made these spiritual covenants, either knowingly or unknowingly, with demonic spirits in order to do the things that they do. They torment us day and night. They're hitting us with directed energy weapons. They're doing these directed conversations or conversational hypnosis where they're repeating things that you talk about in private, and they're spreading lies, rumors. Eventually, all those demons that are instigating them to do so just get turned loose on them, where the Most High's grace and mercy is holding that back, giving them a chance to repent. When that hand is removed, I believe we're seeing, people blow their brains out. We're seeing people go crazy and lose their mind, and with a lot of the higher ups using this fallen angel technology, which is real. I recommend everybody go get this book, Spirit Tech, and it is by two PhDs, physicists that are developing this new age technology, the hive mind technology, which coaxes the human mind, or human brain rather, with computer interfacing. This is why I'm not going to, with the Neuralink and so forth, and DARPA developing these technologies, and then using a certain frequency, a certain G frequency. We know what that is. It's not so you can get quicker, better, more accurate internet, because we're all buffering on this channel right now. It's so that they can connect the minds and the thoughts of the people. And those fallen angels, they had that ability before they fell from grace. Now they're trying to emulate that same sort of power through the technology, right? Trying to get God-like powers, we could say, by that forbidden science and technology, which we call demos in the Hebrew, which is where we get the word demon from. So I believe everything Kanye West and Kyrie Irving or whatever the case may be. They're trying to put everyone on a hive mind. This goes back to the book of Genesis chapter 6 when it says these people were of one mind. And then in the book of Revelations chapter 17 verse 13, I believe, when it says these are of one mind and they'll give their power to the beast. So in the book of Genesis, it starts with the fallen angel, committing hive mind, abominations. And then in the book of Revelations, it finishes with them going back to the days of Noah in order to perpetuate that exact same atrocity against the Most High. So that's my response, brother.
Hey, you know what? And you very eloquently and very completely astutely and very with a lot of man, listen, hive mind. I could just stop this whole thing right now, and I don't even know why I didn't even think of it myself. More than a conqueror, that's the conversation we need to have. In this world, most of the people that you see in this world have a psychic ability, which is a lying wonder, which is the hive mind. They can read your thoughts. They know what you are thinking. It's not has nothing to do with technology. It's familiar spirits and it's monitoring spirits. These spirits speak in people's minds. You guys have seen my channel, you know that. And I'm glad I got people here now. I can really talk about this. Most people you see, they have this ability to know what's going on in your life based off these familiar spirits. Now, familiar spirits, they basically know about things that happen in your generations. So maybe you have somebody in your generations in the past that had a problem with a certain vice, some sort of issue with maybe addiction, maybe some sort of whatever problem that went on in that family, maybe certain let me see, what's the word I'm looking for? Characteristics, certain mindsets that people in your past had. In the Bible, it talks about how there was a warlock that was trying to actually curse the children of Israel. And if you guys know where that's at, you can let me know anytime. And he couldn't do it. The Most High God said, you are not permitted to do this, right? But if they curse themselves, then the children of Israel will be able to be cursed because they're the Most High God's people. Here's another example. King Saul, he went to an enchantment person or somebody that dealt with witchcraft and sorcery to try to teach him and tell him if the Israelites were going to win the battle. And that sorcerer told him, hey, why are you coming to me, asking me for this advice? Is this a setup? I'm paraphrasing. Is this a setup? You trying to set me up? Because if I tell you this thing, are you going to destroy me? Are you going to have me killed? Saul wanted the knowledge from the sorcerer, which was dealing with familiar spirits. Familiar spirits are from Satan's kingdom. They're not of God, but they mask in light, like they're going to give you something good, but it's evil. So when he got that information, of course, he was cursed and he lost everything. What I'm trying to tell you is this: people have taken these oaths. People have made these covenants with these demonic forces. They have spirits that are living inside of them that have taken over them. And now they're just basically conduits that walk on the earth doing the bidding of a satanic spirit. And that's why people are freaking out and going crazy and losing themselves and doing these heinous, crazy things that make no sense, that's on the news. And then most of them don't even know why they did it because they're completely taken over by a spirit that's talking to them, telling them to do it. And then the people get taken out by the government that's also working with familiar spirits. That's how Babylon, America, the Western Kingdom has stayed in power all these years. They didn't do this on their own power, their own strength. The Israelites, us, the Negroes scattered to the four corners of the earth. We are God's people. The reason we have we were the ones that were to control and rule the world, not for our own glory, but to actually represent Christ, represent the Father Yah on this earth. We were given the oracle, spread his will, his way of living, so that everyone else would follow him. We didn't do it. We fell to sin. We were worse than everybody else. So bad that the Most High Yah made an accusation against us, against the nation of Israel. that he told his prophet. He told his prophet. Which one is the prophet? The prophet's name slips me. But he told his prophet to make the accusation against Israel, to tell the people everything that Israel did that was against him, that was in sin, that was unrighteous. Because the whole world was complaining about Israel. They're the rulers of the world, the ones that are supposed to be these upright people. And they were living like sin, worse than everyone else, sacrificing their children to the Moloch, doing all these rituals, having worshiping the mother of heaven, the sun gods, Astrith, doing all these things. And so then the Most High God said, you know what? I'm taking my people out. I'm going to actually have my prophets through the generations warn them and tell them if they don't turn around from their sins, I'm taking Israel out. I'm destroying the land. I'm putting them into slavery. And he brought it all out, the accusation to the whole world. He says, this is what's going on. And the whole world was making their accusations against Israel. They're supposed to be God's people, but look what they're doing. They're doing this. That's what happened. That's why we are in this position now, because of what we did. Now, here's the last thing I'll say before I open it up again. Jeremiah 20:10, I keep saying it. Our perps and gang stalkers are making an accusation against us by watching us in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm. They have demons, demonic forces, fallen angels watching to see if we're breaking the laws of the Most High. Boom. They want to see if we're going to disobey God, the Most High Yah. And if we do it, they have an accusation against us, and they now have a legal right to come into our lives and to cause chaos, send the gang stalkers after us in a way that's just unthinkable. Your targeting will increase. You're doing drugs, you're abusing drugs, you're opening yourself up to be a portal now, you're going out fornicating, you're lying, you're stealing, you're doing everything to break the commandments, the 10 commandments of the Most High Yah. Your targeting, I guarantee you, will increase because you are going against the laws of the Most High Yah. And check this out. This is the last thing I'll say. Since the Most High Yah is in control of good and evil, he uses the evil ones to fulfill his purposes, just like I said, like Job, right? They know it. Their only play against us is to cause God to take the Most High Yah to take his hedge off of us. So since they know that, we're special people. Since they know the Israelites, that's our plight, they are going to try to make us sin any way they can. Any way they can. And once we still have this false sense of security, living in Babylon, we can do what we want, live like the world. That's why we go through what we go through. And we're not targeting the village. No, I believe it's a fiery trial. But because we were chosen to go through this, for whatever reason, which I believe is to show other people God's glory, that we can stay with God and not go to the fallen one and start sinning and doing all that. And we in the spiritual realm, he's like, look at my people. He's like Job. Look at Job. Have you considered Job? He's not going to turn against me. And the fallen one's like, oh yeah, he ain't gonna turn. He's not gonna turn against you because you got a hedge up around him. He's like, okay, just don't kill him. Go ahead, have at it. How do you know he didn't say that to target individuals? How do you know that we're not in that same position? Let's go through all this. We're still here, tormented, all this, and we still praise the Most High Yah. So anyways, the question, if you guys are here, I'm just gonna, because I didn't really prepare for a lot of questions. I'm gonna, in the future, prepare for a lot of questions for anyone that comes on this channel and in live. But right now, because I didn't know if anybody would come on right now, I had a couple the other day, but this is good. This is a great start. More Than a Conqueror, Brittany, you come back whenever you see my channel if you can, because you guys are excellent. You guys are shedding light to the community that you have no idea about. You're giving people strength and hope, and that's what we're trying to do. So I would say this to any of you, I'll go to Brittany. If you have something that you want to discuss right now, before I end the live, if you have something you want to discuss right now, a question or something you want, a topic, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, so when it comes to the whole targeting thing, definitely, for the most part, I don't think in all aspects, but I don't think they're not necessarily targeting, from what I've seen.
Speak. Hold on. Speak more loud. Speak more to the mic.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So we're just gonna rock with it like that. So when it comes to the whole targeting thing, again, you have individuals who are living horribly as far as their inner man, and they want to make you appear to be horrible from your outer man. And so again, it's like a swap. They're trying to take your goodness. They're trying to take your good attributes. They're trying to take who you are in a sense, right? But at the same time, what they'll do is try to make it appear to be the opposite, or they just want you to feel bad about what it is that you do if you're healthy or whatever the case may be, right? And again, it goes back to if they are able to find what they may feel to be a flaw, they will either exacerbatingly exaggerate that, or they'll just go ahead and make up something altogether. So when it comes to gang stalking, honestly, from what I've seen, is people that have done something that's so corrupt that they cannot feel good about themselves unless they corrupt an uncorrupted person or incorrupted person. They have to constantly try to destroy a person. I mean, it's a form of bullying. It's like if somebody can dwell in that low vibrational energy all day like that tells you that it's something wrong with that person. Anybody who delves in hatred and bullying and wanting to antagonize an individual, it tells you something about that person. Now, if you're talking about an individual or a group of individuals who have actually done something, whether it be historically, on a continuous basis, like a form of oppression, and you speak out about that, for them to have an issue with something that you can actually see is going on to destroy other people, then to me that's crazy. Those people that's literally trying to destroy you and not try to build you, like for instance, if they call out anything negative about you, instead of speaking negatively about the individual, why don't you uplift the person? People uplift people that they do not feel threatened by, or they don't mind, or they just don't talk bad about them at all because that person doesn't have anything. When a person has to go around and try to destroy your name, destroy your character, destroy your image, you are somebody to these people. It makes no sense to sit there and try to destroy or talk about a person who, like, for what? That's crazy. So when you're dealing with people who do that, those types of energies who like to parade around as righteous people, but in reality they wicked as hell, dog, that's something to kill with. Even if they're consciously aware of what they're doing, these people are sick. They are sociopaths, yeah.
So
when you do the same thing to them, when you start role playing on their ass, they got a problem with it. Right? When you start telling them things that might not be so accurate, but you're seeing where their head is at to see what they really got going on, they don't like that. Because or they feel like, well, that's a way for them to say, hey, look, see, I told you this person is lying. And the whole time that they're creating all types of lies and doing all type of manner of to get anything that they have, but they want to seem like they're holier than thou. These people are sick, man. They're sick. They talk about God in the public, but they're really demonic. And here's the big part about it. To me, it's like a person who will have sex on top of a dead corpse. Like, who gets off on, excuse my language, on having sex on a dead corpse? It's like they're trying to basically get off on killing you. Like, they get off on feeling like they can get over on another person, or they can get over what they lie, like, until they want you to see it, and they just don't give a damn, until you make them so uncomfortable because it ain't working, and it's like they get all out with it. But those people, for a person to do that, that's a sick. And to be honest with you, you can't just be upset with an individual like that. Not to say that you have to feel sorry for them, not to say that you have to be extend your hand to them, but it's like, how can you really be upset with a person who's miserable? Because that's a form of misery. To try to bring misery to someone else, or to believe that you're getting over it, because you're not getting over it, nothing, right? But to believe that you are, and then continue to do it knowing that you're wicked, that is sick.
So I would say this, everything that you just said is the people are not our these monsters ain't operating with nothing that we're dealing with. As far as their mindset, they're taking over, they're possessed. There's something that's not right in them that is so completely other than what we know. We don't know what's going on in their minds, really. How could you actually feel it's okay to target somebody 24/7 every single day? And you're okay with that? You might be a perp that lives above somebody or on the side of somebody, and you at certain periods of time during the day, you decide to beat on the wall because something told you or somebody called you or whatever. However, you got this information, you feel that you have the right to torment this person all night and every day by these things. You're outside riding your car fast and around their house. You're around them screaming and speaking their names and saying things about their lives that you should have no ability or shouldn't have any ability to know. My question to you, more than a conqueror, what is your stance on this? Do you love your perps? Do you love and how do you love your perps? If you do at all.
Well, I would say I love them enough to want to see them change. But charity love starts at home and then spread abroad. You got to love yourself first, man. These people have drugged me. They have poisoned me. They have broken into my house and beaten me. They have stolen things. They have left me and my family homeless. I lived in my car for over 4 years. Ended up, losing a relationship with my son. They targeted him, left him with an aneurysm at the age of 11. So I would say, I learned. I used to be the type that just wanted to know why these people were doing what they were doing to me and my family. And then I wanted to see him change, and because I had a big heart, right? And now I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'd be lying if I said I don't want to see judgment to be vindicated by the Most High. Now I would love to see them change, but for those who are not willing to change, man, the Most High says love your neighbor. You know what I mean? He don't say love the devil. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, I don't even know if they're even human. Some of the stuff that they do, these are they're into sodomy, pedophilia, bestiality. Human beings don't do the kind of stuff that they are into. And even if they were once human, they have been dehumanized by giving their bodies over to demonic spirits for so long. And so I love the ones who can be pulled out of the fire, enough to pray for them. And I do pray for them every chance that I get. But that's pretty much my response, brother.
And I'm on the same place as you. And also, and before I ask Brittany the same question, and this is the last question before we end the live, you have to also engage in spiritual warfare. Because these people are so, you know what? These people actually fast and pray for Satan to give them extra power in order to target us. So imagine that there's people that are actually not eating food, not drinking water, not doing these things so that they will be able to have a greater, closer relationship with Satan so that they can now influence us and have more power against us in the spiritual realm. So because they do that, I have to, and I tell every target individual, you bind demonic spirits. That which is bound on earth is bound in heaven. That which is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. What I say is this every day. And I'm supposed to keep what I do. I'm supposed to keep the things that God, Most High Yah, has given me to help the people, because no, I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, murder, death, destruction, every foul spirit, every lying spirit. I bind every demonic spirit of sickness, infirmity, all hate and fear. I bind every demonic spirit that would seek for me to doubt Yahushua Mashiach as being my savior and having all power. I bind every demonic spirit of laziness. I bind every demonic spirit of poverty and lack. I bind every demonic spirit of violence. I bind every demonic spirit of shame. I bind every demonic spirit of drug addiction. I bind every demonic spirit of fornication and sex addiction. I bind these demonic spirits that have ever been assigned to me in every temple, man, woman, and child, in every witch and warlock, in every demonic entity without a body that's ever been assigned to me or my family or those that I love, or any of the children of Yasharah that you've chosen, any of the Gentiles you've chosen. And I cast these demonic spirits out to the abyss in Yahushua Mashiach's name. Go! Thank you for answering my prayer, because we're supposed to thank him for answering it. When you do that and you believe, you've done your part. Now you step back. He says that be not afraid of the vast army, for the battle is not yours, but it's mine. When you believe that and you say that prayer, you've done what you need to do. And you sit back and watch what the Most High Yah do. And you keep walking in righteousness. You don't just sit back and watch what the Most High Yah do and you don't serve him. You don't deny your flesh. You're living like the world. I'm talking about the real ones. We're past all that old pagan Christianity where you just do anything you want to do, live how you want to live, and then come to God and say, oh, yeah, God, hallelujah, and I believe you. You died for me at Calvary. Yeah, you died for me at Calvary so that I could have a relationship with you and be saved. But you also said, those that love me, obey me. You also said, the word says that when you died, you fulfilled the law. You didn't get rid of the law. We have to obey his law. So in his law is his commandments. So that's how spiritual warfare also comes into play. You have a part to play in this. So you can't, if you want to win, you have to engage in spiritual warfare. Because when those things I just told you to do, when I bound those demonic spirits and I cast them out of these temples, regardless if they're a woman, a man, a child, it doesn't matter. The children operate in this demonic spirit too. You've seen these children walk around doing the gang stalking, doing the direct conversations. They got the spirit in them too. And their parents teach them to do it too. Because these are witches and warlocks with a mind that's not like ours. So they teach their kids to do this stuff, right? I was smoking a cigarette one time, and I had this gang stalker had his kid, and I was trying to hide the cigarette. And then the gang stalker was trying to move the kid and position them so that they could see me doing the smoking of the cigarette, wanting their own kid to see somebody smoking cigarettes. You're dealing with evil. So, Brittany, what do you think about this? What do you think about these people? Like, do you love them? How do you love them? Should we love them?
No, I don't love them. I don't think much of them other than.
Speak up.
Now, am I loud enough?
Yeah, you good.
I don't have love for them. I don't. That's not my thing. I don't think. But I don't have hatred either. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I think this situation is more so for the individual who's being targeted to build themselves, as opposed to really looking at all of these individuals out here thinking that I love type of people or these people, period. Like, that would just drain. So I think more than anything, this situation is a building block for the person that's going through it, if you know how to look at it from that perspective. Unfortunately,
I would ask you, what is love? I would ask you, what is love? And I want you to continue, because when I said love, that's like a weird, fuzzy feeling, stomach thing that kind of insinuated. I'm talking about, would you do any evil against them? Would you try to get revenge against them, or ask God to do things to hurt them? Would you do that? Would you ever pray for them to find God? That's what I'm asking.
So, do I wish ill will on an individual? No. However, right, I do feel like whatever it is that they're putting out, they should get that back. Now, in regards to love and what I think love is, which was your initial question, in regards to the topic of love, I do believe that an individual has to love themselves first, right? You have to know who you are. Like, you really have to know who you are. You have to love that. You also have to love your flaws. You also have to be cognizant enough to understand that you do have to work on yourself. And so with that energy that you have within you, you're not going to have that type of energy to put out hate. You just can't. And because love is the highest form of energy that you can get to, you can understand where a person's mindset is who can perpetuate hate. You understand that there is something about themselves This is the reason why they feel that they have to get some form of contentment by making someone else feel discontent, right? So when you see it from that perspective, truthfully enough, speaking on it is a little bit different than actually walking through the flesh in it. But when you understand that and you can take yourself back to that understanding, that always provides a form of peace in knowing that no one can partake in something like this and be fully at peace or fully free. Again, some people, to be honest with you, some people are not conscious that they're materialistic. Again, they may have some things going on in their life that they just need a form of escapism, and this may be a form of escapism. I'll give you an example, Jay. It may be a form of escapism for the chick in the hood. It may be a form of genuine contentment to oppress another person for the chick that's in corporate America, right? Because their realities are different. However, they're both suffering in some way. And so that suffering causes them to want to see another individual suffer, you know, for different reasons or for different motives, so to speak, but it all boils down to the same root: self-hate, discontentment within their own situation. So love is basically loving yourself thoroughly, genuine, purely.
So is there judgment? Is there judgment for those that do eat, that treat their brethren in a way in which is not of the Most High God? Would you say that? Because you just basically said, hold on 1 second, hold on. Yeah, so you basically said that based off of the actions of a person doing evil and wrong, that there is that you have an acknowledgement of why someone would do those things. Basically, if someone was in some highfalutin position of life and job, and they may feel the need to feel superior over somebody. My question to you is that a justification? Is it valid? If they feel that way, is it right? That's the question. Is it right? Is it right? Is it right to feel? Is it right not only to feel, but to carry out those actions towards someone because you feel like you are in a position to do so?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that these, and of course, based on everything that we're talking about, it's not right. We're going to call it evil and demonic and, you know, all that. So we concluded, you know, far along in the conversation that it's not right. Okay. But the reason why these people do it is not because they genuinely feel highfalutin. A person who is really high can actually go down and pick somebody else up. So, again, the highfalutin that we're talking about goes back to the reptilian demonic energy that I was speaking of earlier, the illusion of materialism. These people somewhere along the line know that it's an illusion. And they also know that it's taken away, right? And so it's almost like, let me enjoy it while I can type of an energy, whether they're conscious or subconscious of it. Love is eternal. Anything that is not real is not eternal. It can be gone. And so anybody that is operating from an eternal place, which is love, they're going to have an eternal energy, which means they're going to be able to spread that because they're not they're not in a competition. They're not in a gimme state. They're not in a state of, oh snap, I don't want to lose this to this person. They're not in a competitive state. Anybody who's operating from a materialistic place, they're not operating from an eternal place. So they're in a gimme, take type of state. Let me hold this person down. Let me suppress this person. Always looking over their shoulder. Always checking their bank account. Always feeling worried. Everything they're trying to do to you is what they feel. But they do it to the targeted person on a micro scale so that it makes them feel better about their situation and their lack thereof. So no, these people do not do that because they genuinely feel as though they're highfalutin. They do these things because they know that there's a lack somewhere that can happen at any time because it is not real. Again, some of them know this consciously, and some of them know this unconsciously. But anytime you're dealing in a certain energy, there's going to be a certain persona that comes with that, again, whether you're aware of it or not.
So that what I would say, more than a conqueror, I'm about to come to you. I just want you, this is the last thing, because I want you to respond to what Brittany said, because I think that she told us a whole bunch of mindset, the true mindset of possibly those that operate in these fashions against target individuals. It's more of a not trying to prove themselves being something. It's basically kind of like to show you what they go through, a little microcosm of what they go through in order to make themselves feel a little better. So it's not like they're just trying, they're trying to throw this stuff down at you. They just want you to understand what it's like, and you're not going through these things. Why aren't you going through these things?
What I want you to understand is that they want you to feel the pain.
Feel the Speak up. Go, speak up.
It's not coming from, when I say that, it's not coming from a place of them wanting you to understand their experience from a place of empathy or wanting you to give empathy upon them. Again, it's a molester molesting. It's a rapist, a raper raping. You see what I'm saying? It's a person.
No, I get you. And I'm gonna ask you this. Why did they put the targeted individual, and Morning the Conqueror, please be listening up, because I want you to. Why did they put the targeted individual in the position of the raper when he didn't rape them or she didn't rape them? They just want anybody to understand.
They're not putting, because here's the thing. In most cases, the targeted individual is a clean slate. In regards, everybody has flaws, right? But the flaws that the targeted individual usually have is nothing in comparison to the flaws that the individuals who are the rapists, who are the give me, take individuals. There's nothing in comparison to you sacrificing another person so that you can come up, right? So anytime you take part into something that is wicked, in order to clear your conscience, because now as and this dude said something so lovely, More Than a Conqueror, you begin to develop what is called a reprobate mind, which means that in order for you to suffice what you just did that was so wicked, you have to then do something else wicked to get over that wicked, and then do something else wicked to get over that wicked, because you are now a reprobate. So the only way that you can go to sleep at night is if you've done something wicked, but you really can't go to sleep unless you do something wicked. So it's a reprobate, it's a circle. They find no peace. So they're not looking for you to empathize with them. They're looking to make you feel how they feel so they can look at you and say, oh, at least I don't feel how they feel. You see the contradiction.
I get it.
So reprobate.
Oh my God. Oh, let's pause. You cleared up a lot right there. And you know what? The Spirit's telling me that's what it is. They are those that are, hold on one second. And I'm coming to you, More Than a Conqueror. Just stay right there. Those that are perps, those that are our targets, and the way you got this information like that, the Most High Yah only told you, Brittany. Those that are against us are only trying to make us feel the pain that they've gone through. They can't feel relief unless they put us through that. They want to see that we also experience that pain that they've gone through. The only way they can get peace is if they do that same evil to us. That's the byproduct of the reprobate mind. They're not trying, they don't want us to show empathy and say, look, they're not trying to show, like, do these things to us so that so we'll feel where they come from and we'll have empathy for them and understand them. They're actually doing it out of a place of, I want you to feel this evil. That's the only way I can have peace. That, my friends, is what I've never had anyone explain it to me. And I'm not just saying this. Something Judah J is actually learning and that I can associate it being real. I've never had anybody explain it. These people are pure evil. These people have a reputation. These people are those that Most High Yah has possibly tried to come in their life and make sense of everything and give them an olive branch and allow them back into his kingdom. But because of the things they possibly did, which was so heinous, so horrible, right? They completely made themselves a victim forever. So basically, they said there's no coming back from this. I did something too bad where the Most High God cannot save me from this. And then they fall deeper and deeper down that rabbit hole. And then the demonic kingdom, the Satan, he finds out that you feel that way because they're always observing us. It says that the heavenly angels, they watch us. God's heavenly host watches. Satan watches us. Fallen angels watch us to know where we're at in the spirit, to see if they can actually have the ability to come against us. So when they see a person at that place, oh yeah, they're prime candidates. They're prime candidates. Anyways, more than a talker just left, but what I'm gonna say is this was an amazing conversation, Brittany. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Like I said, you have an open invitation to come anytime you would like. I'm just gonna tell you, normally what I'm gonna do, I always have a live that starts at, like, let's say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm gonna start putting on there when I start doing my live, I'll put the little notification, and then it'll possibly most likely come on about 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. And I want you to come back on. And I'll have questions. I wasn't prepared for anybody. Totally off the cuff. Excellent. Do you have a channel, Brittany, that you want to promote?
I don't have a channel. No.
You should have a channel.
I have a Quora page. I have a Quora page. 17,000, 18,000 this month. I guess that's how Quora works. So I have a page on Quora.
Okay, well, I want to let you know that we've had people steady in the stream, and everybody has positive. We have a lot of comments, and they just keep coming because you have a great insight on what's going on, and people like to hear help. They like people to help them. They're not trying to hear no BS and people skirting around. You know how to. So I would encourage you to. I'm serious. I'll subscribe right away. And everybody in here, I'm serious, will subscribe to your channel. We need people out here that are for actually us, that are not no perps undercover, that are trying to manipulate us and do it. People that have insight and that are working for the Most High God. We need people with channels. So, I mean, it's not hard to make a channel. Get the StreamYard, get a channel, and start it. I'm pretty sure you would. Hey, so just think about that anyway. Think about that. Yeah, go ahead.
So when it comes to targeting, and I know that we're late in this, but you were asking some real interesting questions, and I definitely wanted to provide answers. But I never got the chance to ask you any questions, and we're 2 hours in. But one of the questions that I did want to ask is very basic. I think everybody asked it, to people who claim to be targeted individuals. When did you notice, just like you asked me earlier, when did you notice your situation starting? And if you said that on some of your previous podcasts, I do apologize if I don't know, but you popped up in my feed today, so I was like, let's jump on. But when did your targeting start, and what do you think made you a target?
Well, my target started in 2000, and it was shortly after I had my car accident. I had a car accident where I wasn't living right, and I was drunk. And I haven't said this on any of my videos, but I was drunk, and I think I was high too. I was smoking weed, and I was coming home from college. I used to live in Tennessee, and basically I fell asleep on the road, and the car flipped over, and like 11 times, 12 times, and I woke up in the hospital. And then when I found out my car, when I was in the hospital, my car I found out was smashed like a pancake. Family's crying over me. I wake up. And they were like, it's a miracle that you actually survived this crash. I didn't have a seat. I had a seatbelt on. So it's amazing that I was able to actually get out of the car. No, I don't know. To this day, I don't know how I got out the car. But anyways, I know that it was the Most High Yah that got me out of that car. So anyways, from that time forward, there was this heightened awareness of things are not right. Things are not going. I would look around and people are paying too much attention to me. This was like shortly after this car accident in 2000. And the reason why I know it was 2000, well, I know because of the car accident. Tiger Woods was just, and I used to love golf. He's just won this whole Pebble Beach thing or some sort of tournament. And I remember that was the first day when I came home from the car accident. I told my family member, I said, I don't feel right. I feel different. I said, I feel a little bit different right now. And then after that, I just started noticing things more just, I was more aware of things. I was aware of people that were looking at me a little bit too hard, or people that were paying attention to me, or seeing cars behind me, or just noticing like, and it didn't happen all at once. It was just like certain things I would notice. And as time built up, as time went along, I start to kind of acknowledge when I sin, that targeting would increase. I would notice these little things that we always talk about happening more and more and more. And then when I would stop the sinning, it would decrease. But then I would still notice it a little bit. So it was like I'm testing the waters, so to speak. But then it wouldn't be as harsh. But then, sometimes, okay, well, I was like, okay, well, this stuff doesn't make any sense. Like, it seems like people that I'm in relationships change, like not that long after we get together, and there's nothing that's happened between us that's made this person change. You would say, okay, I did this thing, or I didn't do this thing. No, it'd just be like a complete change and multiple relationships. And it's just like very weird. Like, how did this happen? And then I started realizing that these things were happening throughout my life. So then as I kept going through my targeting, as time went along and I'm going and acknowledging it, I started looking back in my past, like even before the accident. And I'm like, okay, I can see how maybe I've always been a target individual, because I've noticed things that happened in my even early childhood that didn't make sense. That was like out of the ordinary. And so now as I get older, it's just like I'm coming to this place where I know I don't have no control other than to serve God, because I know now I don't got the power. I don't have the power to do any of this. The Most High Yah is the only power that I have. And so I know that now because of what I went through. And I also know this, and this is what I also tell you. If you're a target individual, a lot of these people say, oh, your targeting is going to stop. Hey, blessings to you if your targeting has stopped. I would be a proponent of a person that would say, yeah, the targeting will subside based off of, I'm telling you, sin, not sinning, and showing the Most High Yah. I believe this is from the Most High Yah for whatever his purposes, fiery trial. But I also believe that we are going through this to, if we're targeting individuals, truly targeting individuals, this is to keep pressure on us so that we'll stay in this position of humility. I believe that's what it is. Stay in humility, the position of humility for the Most High to be able to use us in the fashion he wants to use us, right? And so I just look at it different now. Like, I have a purpose to serve him, not to be woe is me and all this and, oh, look what they did to me. No, I'm past that. I did that like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Now I'm at a new place where I know it's just my job is just to obey him and give glory to him. So that's my experience has been a dang nightmare, because it has affected every part of my life. Imagine wanting to have a relationship with a woman, and every woman you try to get with, you feel like they're going to be a honey trap. I know you heard of that, where they're going to act like one thing at first, and then all of a sudden, or they know your deepest, darkest secrets, and because of their connections with these familiar spirits and whatever hive mind, whatever thing they dealing with spiritually, and all of a sudden, I'm coming into a new relationship with a woman that already has made these already perceived conceptions and notions about me. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with somebody that already has made up their mind? And maybe they've even seen me in compromising situations in the spiritual realm. I mean, how am I supposed to deal with that? So, anyways, yeah, that's my experience. So I'm glad you asked that question. I hope I was able to answer you. But thank you so much, Brittany. You are more than welcome to come back. Blessings to everybody that's in the chat. Do you want to say anything else before I close it up?
The guy, I just, he shouldn't have fell off. I don't know what happened to his phone, but hopefully, I gave some information and some people who are out there that's actually being targeted can relate to. Another thing too, I do want to say this also want to know how these gang stalkers can do what they do outside of the spiritual. A lot of the times they are spoken to about what the targeted individuals are going to say. And because of the way this thing is designed, it can give people a Jesus martyr complex. It can also give people who are gang stalkers a demonic complex. And so where people really take on the energy, and you can actually become the energy, because this is how this psyop is shaping your personality to be this Jesus figure or to be this demonic figure. So while you may be a good person, you probably wouldn't have behaved in the manner in which you're currently behaving, whether that be for the good or the bad, had this situation not happened. Because you're up against either so much evil, or the evil is up against this seemingly so righteous person, or this person who has some form of benevolence that is extraordinary in comparison to the people that's doing the stalking. So everybody starts to have a conflict. I mean, literally everybody except for the people that's running this machine somewhere that you probably can't. Everybody can gather this complex, from the highest politicians, because they are not really in the know, even though they believe they're in the know, down to, the homeless man on the street who believes that he's in the know but not really in the know. Another thing too, the reason why these gang stalkers are able to, pretend so well is because they're also informed to look at it as though it's acting. So therefore, they can continue to do it without it really penetrating their conscience in the way that it would be if they were to let their other side show. Because they are literally creating a dissociative identity disorder by creating an actor, a character. This is the reason why people can stay in relationships with individuals and tell them that they love them and lie straight to their face, like literally lie straight to their face about their emotions. Not so much about your name, not so much about your age. I'm talking about the soul. If a person can lie about their soul character, that's a dangerous person. But people look at it as a form of acting. And so when you have a person that starts to create this dissociative personality identity disorder that these people are telling this person to create in order to gather information or intel on different targeted individuals or to break down the person, that person is a sociopath, even though they're told to play a character in a movie.
So what do you think? What do you think? Hey, you done told. Oh my gosh, More Than a Conqueror. What do you think about what Brittany just said about this whole character that these perps operate? Basically, they basically don't care nothing about you. They're trained to just be as evil as possible, not knowing that they're going to be judged, and it's all basically a joke on them. But what do you think about that?
Well, they're hacking my device over here, and so I'll try to be brief if you can hear me, man.
Yes,
I'll say that it stems from the COINTELPRO. So they are definitely trained to be evil, but it's deeper than that. It goes back to the spiritual. The Department of Justice is in on it. Department of Defense is in on it. There are community policing programs, and InfoGuard, private security is human trafficking, folks. That's why I pass out these community warning flyers, which breaks down in detail what is actually going on with the these agencies spreading lies, slander, and defamation about outstanding community members and obtaining wrongful, illegitimate court authorization from these corrupt judges to convince schools, business, neighbors, libraries, anybody that you're the worst thing since unsliced bread. And so, it is a crime orchestrated from the top in order to neutralize someone who has influence, to prevent the rise of a black messiah or an Israelite messiah. That goes back to the FBI's COINTELPRO memoirs. You know what I mean? So it's preventative maintenance. Like the sister said, and like you've said, it's someone with potential that the Most High is starting to cultivate to do a great work, and they want to stop that before that person blossoms. And and that's pretty much the reality of it. Now they do have our names on the FISA court watch list, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court of Appeals. And this is a reality. So once your name goes on there, you can be human trafficked, because these private security firms or private security corporations are businesses. They trade on Wall Street, right? And the way that they make money is they take bids on like each targeted individual, and then the national defense budget is portioned out and allotted to these private security corporations, usually headed by former CIA, former FBI, and then they commence to carry out the psychological COINTELPRO warfare against the targeted individual. So that's in the natural realm.
Question.
Yeah.
So you said some stuff we got to talk about real quick. So since we've made it to Washington, so to speak. Target individuals are on the list of high-powered individuals in the government and in the CIA. Okay, so since we are these people, what is it about us that put us on the list? Like, what information did they see? What specific? I'm asking you, what do you think? A specific information that they see that led them to believe that we should be on that list.
Money is power. Influence is a greater power. So usually targeted individuals, although quiet, they have an ability to change the social atmosphere wherever they are. When you enter a room, you have the ability to turn negative energy into positive energy. You have the ability when you do speak.
That energy? Who collected that energy?
Say that again.
Who collected that energy? What I mean is were they always around us to seek the information and have certain people like you work at, let's say you are a target individual and you work at 7-Eleven, and then all of a sudden that's where it started, and you come in there and that person that was there that worked there, they're the ones that put you or kind of told people this person has a way with, like, who collected the energy?
Well, InfraGard is the private, is one of the private security sectors of the FBI, right? And they're ensconced in every Fortune 500 location. So if you work at a Fortune 500 corporation, someone there is a double agent. They may be working as a middle, manager or supervisor on the job, or just a lay person, but at the same time, they're getting paid also to be an inside informant for that corporation with the FBI's private security profit sector, right? So this is how it breaks down. You know what I mean? On like a more political, military type skill, and so someone. That's obviously demonic, jealous, envious, with a monitoring spirit, a watcher spirit, observed you close enough to realize that you have that potential. It wasn't them that recognized that, but it was that demonic spirit inside of them recognizing who you are and whose you are, most of all. You know what I mean? And then they report back to the Fusion Center that here's a person of interest you might want to check out. Then this is when they send in undercovers, and then the false investigations start. And once you're shown to be like that light of Christ, you know what I mean, that light bearer.
Oh yeah, they messing with him. Yeah, they messing with him because it's gonna happen like 12 times. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brittany. I can't hear you. Speak up. Speak up.
So you said how do they find the individual, right? Who finds the individual, right? Right?
Yeah.
So who finds the individual? Initially, if you've been gang stalked from childhood or at a very young age, it was a teacher. So like for me, I've always been very talkative, and I've been very outspoken, and I've been very, I talk with my hands and I'm very expressive. The reason why I do say that race is involved is because they shut that down in African Americans and then they rebuild it up in those who they want to place in positions of power, which means that you become robotic and you're not able to be as expressive or as talkative or use colorful language and so forth. They beat that out of you in a figurative manner, right? So it's not literal in this day and age. It was back in the day, but it's more figurative. So you do have a lot of black people, again, who are in positions of power, but if you notice, they sound very Caucasian. They sound like they're oppressive and not speaking from a state of them speaking proper, because I believe that I speak proper and I can speak proper. But I'm not, my energy is not like theirs. I have a very high energy. And like I said, I talk with my hands, which these people despise. You know, that's something that presidents do. But when you're a black female, you know, or a black person, period, it's like, well, how dare you be so free? You're too fucking free. So a lot of the times they notice this in you in childhood. What they'll do if they don't want to beat it out of you, what they'll do is they'll start to monitor you. And again, if your parents are African American, they oftentimes do something a little different than they do with the Caucasians. Again, I know a lot of people want to act as though race is not a factor, but your environment that is predicated upon your racial identity, not your racial identity being predicated upon your environment. This is where self-hate comes in, because a lot of black people think that they're impoverished because they're black. No, you're black and you're impoverished. You're not impoverished because you're black. They wanted to put you as an impoverished person because you're black, not, you know, because you're black that you're impoverished. So it's the opposite. But anyway, so what they do with a lot of black parents is they'll either your hyperactivity will become an ADHD, or your ability to speak fluently and well is a form of autism, or your ability to speak with your hands is aggression. Your confidence is arrogant. Your everything about you that is good is going to be belittled. And because African Americans believe what these Caucasians say, they'll go ahead and sell their own child over, not realizing that these people are using your child for their ideas. They're experimenting on your child. They're taking your child's gifts and having you believe that your child is bad and or detrimental. Now, at some point, that black parent catches on and they become maybe envious that this child has these gifts, because they start to recognize, hey, you motherfuckers, we're making money off of this individual in some way, shape, or form, unbeknownst to them. So a lot of this stuff starts from the school system. A lot of these schools report these children, and a lot of these people that they're claiming are ADHD, a lot of these black kids that they're placing on medications and all of it, it is to break that down. So that's how they find these individuals. Now, when you have a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X, they find those individuals later in age, because as you know, Malcolm X didn't change until later in age. And that's when they started sending these COINTELPRO tactics at him. But they find you either in school when you're young, and these double agent or racist teachers and or professors will report you and let it be known that you possibly have the ability to lead and or influence. Again, they will not beat that out of you because they want to experiment on you, and they want to take your creative ideas and give it to their puppets. And when I was mentioning earlier about celebrities taking ideas of the targeted individuals, this is a very real thing. And not that they're taking it, they might not even know you, but they're given this information because what they're trying to do is they're trying to neutralize your identity. Anything that you have that is creative that makes you an individual, they're taking that, giving it to someone who has more mass appeal, more mass influence than you, and they're trying to neutralize anything that you have that can make you a leader, that can make you rise up people around you. They must control your talent. They want to control your ideas. They want to control people like that. And they do. And by controlling one person, they'll control thousands. They got people selling their souls and not realizing what they're doing. By trying to control me, you got all these people out here that they're getting these alerts to their phones, and they think that it's something innocent that they're doing, not realizing that these people got you tapped too. And basically by you doing that, you just gave over your right. You think that the targeted person who is highly microscopically monitored, is the only person being monitored in this. Once you attach yourself to that person, unfortunately, people, they're targeting you too. They're
Yep.
watching you too, because they don't know what you would end up telling that person. So it's a cyclical cycle where they target the influential, and then from targeting the influential person, whether by making everyone hate that person or give everybody the illusion of following that person, which are celebrities, which are controlled opposition, however they choose to do it, because a targeted individual is a celebrity as well. They're just an underground celebrity, right? They're the ones who the ideas are being taken from and given to the celebrities that's in the forefront. So the targeted individuals is usually the ones that are righteous, or usually the ones that are probably hard to break. They don't have much dirt on them for you to try to bribe them or blackmail them. So what they do is they just sit back and steal your shit and then try to dirty your name with the lies of the individuals that they're giving your shit to.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's it. My question to you is, do they? Okay, yeah, no. Everything. Listen, let's recap just real quick, and then I'll ask you. I want to say last question, but you keep bringing out these nuggets, and I just don't want you to stop. But when you said that the children are basically penalized for the gifts that they have, so if they're more active, like they're more move, they have more movement, or they have more just like certain traits, that they're actually being put on psychotropics in order to suppress that natural gift. And so because these people acknowledge that this thing they're witnessing is something that can actually be a benefit for that person, and then also go against them, because then there'll probably be more people that are more aware, probably IQ is higher because of this thing, and that they've now said, oh, we got to suppress that and put them on medicine. My thing, my also question to you is this: with everything that you just said, this is something I've always wondered, and I'm not saying that but like, do they have a website that they use their devices to show target individuals' life, like maybe on a dark web, maybe you do think, and they're always watching, and they basically mock us, and they, it's just like some sort of worldwide type of entertainment for those in power, maybe even people that are in the entertainment industry, to watch us? Do they have that, do you think?
As I stated, to answer your question, that's a great question. The targeted individuals is an underground celebrity. The celebrities that are controlled and in some way compromised are the celebrities that you're going to see. The targeted individual is the raw talent. The raw talent is the individual that's either hard to break, hard to bend. They're not easily manipulated. So if everybody is able to mimic you to some extent, they're able to see you, hear you, get some information on you. So either they're able to see you in real time, because I know that, either they're able to see you in real time, or they're able to hear you in real time, or they're getting information or tidbits or clips or whatever sent to them about you, whether that be audio clips, video clips, or just individuals telling these people to repeat something about you that may trigger you, or something that has been said about you, whether it be true or not. So they're definitely watching and monitoring. That's how they're able to gather this information. And
so are they able to watch? You think they're able to watch without you having, let's say like a camera, let's say like a device. And I didn't cough because I'm doing some sort of signaling. I want to let y'all know, because I know how that feels.
That was a real call.
Do you think that,
That's a real call.
Yeah. So pause. Yeah. So anyways, that's not, do you think that these people are able to watch without having a device? Like no device, no camera. Like when I say on my channel all the time, spiritual realm stuff, is it something that I'm even gonna go here? I'm gonna go here. Fallen, the demonic spirits, the spiritual realm is all around us. When you are someone that creates yourself to be a portal, allows yourself to be a portal to the demonic forces, either through repeated sin, maybe through substance abuse, whatever way that you've allowed Satan's spirit to come into you, you acknowledge that there's a spiritual realm all around you. So my question is this, since that spiritual, and I've even had situations where I've seen things move and even felt things that when no one's there on my, like somebody touches you and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what was that? And you know that there's no one. Anyways, do they have their, you think that there's they might be able to see target individuals in the spiritual realm and somehow record it back onto onto a device that's technical for those that are gang stalkers to see it? Or is it all just device?
It's both. It's both. And how I can tell you that it's both because I have the ability. So here's what you got to understand.
Hold on, you have the ability to what?
I have the ability to see from a spiritual perspective. So,
when you say that, you don't mean like see me right now, do you?
No, not in that sense. I can see a person. I can see a person's person from their inner self, not being able to see what a witch or a warlock would be able to do. Because anything that's invasive to a person or detrimental to a person, that's of evil energy. But yes, they definitely do have those individuals who work witchcraft. They have that. And so there are few individuals that are able to see you in real time from a spiritual perspective. And they can see you as from your physical without the cameras and all that. But
so that's like astral projection.
Absolutely.
That's real. Okay. Keep going.
Astral projection is most definitely a real thing. When you're dealing with somebody, see, what you got to understand, there's levels to gang stalkers. And I want people to understand that there's levels to gang stalkers. You got your carnal gang stalkers and you got your spiritual gang stalkers. A carnal gang stalker is just a person who's getting paid to do some group. A spiritual person is a person who can tap into you as an individual, who can create a soul tie with you, where you can feel something pulling on you. That is a person that can tap into you thinking, your conscious, your subconscious. This is a real thing. They can actually astral project. Now, there are sayings that these gang stalkers, these people who can't see actually have technology, which like what the other guy was speaking on, fallen angel technology. However, the spiritual realm is very, very, very real. It's just everybody's not tapped into that. And the whole gang stalking program in of itself makes individuals speak of it from a spiritual perspective sound crazy. They do that because there's truth in that. But that's just not something that a lot of people have tapped into, which is the reason why they keep eating things and watching things or staying in a house or staying in an apartment. You know what I mean? You're in four walls all day for a reason. It keeps you from tapping into that. People who are more nature-based individuals who are outside in a majority way, and I can tell you that from personal experience, these people start to develop spiritual gifts or their spiritual gifts that are already there just become more heightened. So this is a real thing. There's two levels of gang stalkers. This is the reason why a lot of targeted individuals, they have a conflict when they talk about it from a technical standpoint and a spiritual standpoint. It is done that way for a reason. They have created fallen angel technology so that those who do understand this from a spiritual perspective start to question their spiritual perspective and say, well, maybe
Got
it's
you.
not only spiritual for real. There's technology. They are doing that so that you do not tap in, so that you believe that every premonition that you have or every vision that you have is fake. It is done for a reason to keep you from tapping in. These people are very smart. And also with that, it's a form of mimicking. When they mimic you, it is to make you question yourself. So when they mimic spirituality, it's to make you question that. The reason why they created this technology is because it makes you question what you are feeling from an innate sense. It is to take you away from your innate self and make you harder, make you materialistic, keep you in the illusion. Fallen angel technology, the B2K, all of that is in the form of illusion. But your spirituality is a real thing, and they want to keep you with that. But they have to mimic it so that you begin to question what's real and what's fake.
So the power, you know, you're saying everything. I've been trying to say all my years on this channel, but you said it in such a way that it's just so clear and so real. And I'm so thankful. The power to overcome it is what? You tell us.
The power to overcome
all this. You've said so many. You've given us a lot of the insight on what the enemy does, how they do it, why they do it, what's the remedy against it. You know what I say the remedy is. What's the remedy do you think against it?
I'm gonna have to say that on a different show. We gotta give all the jewels away on one show. Like
hey, okay, listen. That's good. That's good. That's actually okay. We can stop there. Hey, Brittany, thank you so much for the show. What you said has enlightened all of us. We are very happy that you shared these nuggets with us. I'm very happy because you are giving us as a community tools that we can use to fight this thing. When the Most High Yah says people perish for the lack of knowledge. So for the fact that you came on and shared all that, people can go back. People can actually, so thank you, Brittany. People can go back and people can actually rewind or listen to this video again, and they can say, okay, well, hey, I have a question on that, a question on that. Now, you may have to turn your voice up because it was kind of low. Brittany, next time you come on here, make sure your volume's up. But you can go back and listen, and you will hear the information you need to hear to get the information you need, maybe to get through a day, because it's really about getting through a day nowadays. Not about thinking about what's going to happen next week or the week after. Get through a day being a targeted individual, because you know what we go through. So anyways, blessings to you. This is the best. Hey, this is really, to tell you the truth, the first live where there was one person, once again, God's child, amazing. The first day I did the live with people. And now it's just you can see where this is going. You guys can see. So whatever questions that you have, I'll have a topic. I want you guys to call. I mean, to when I put the link up, push on the link and let's have these conversations. If you got information that you think we need to know in order to make it through this thing, then you get on this channel and let's talk about it. As you can see, there's just nothing to be afraid of. Share, just ask questions. We learn, boom, and that's it, right? All right, so if you have not liked, shared, or subscribed, I need everybody. Push the thumbs up. Push the thumbs up, even right now. Everybody in the chat, push the thumbs up. Just push the thumbs up. That's going to lead people to the channel. Subscribe to this channel because you know what I'm trying to do. You know what this channel can do. Conversations like that, questions you've always, as targeted individuals, want to know the answers to, and you get people like that to come on the show. That was kind of scary at one point. Like, this woman knows a lot. But we need that because the Most High Yah's using her, okay? We need to have this information as targeted individuals. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, support this channel so I can keep bringing this to you. You know how I get down. I'm gonna bring these people to you. I'm gonna make it so you have a place to go where you can get the information that you need on this topic. No cut at all. And if somebody's doing something wrong, you know Judah J. We'll take them off. Take them off this channel. You know me. So just, come to the channel and share your experience. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, Cash App, $ Judah J Talks 144. Cash App, $ Judah J 144. Judah J Talks 144. You see it scrolling down on the reason. Hey, listen. I know that, you know what? It's like a feeling somebody might get after hearing something like this. You're like, okay, Judah J is for me. Judah J is actually saying it has a channel, which is helping me. Now he's asking for money. I've always hated that. Even some of the ministry channels I listen to. And I see on the bottom scrolling Cash App. The reason why that's on the bottom is because of this. I want my channel to look better. I want my sound to be better. I want these things to be increased, right? Now, having this platform and to be able to share the information that I believe the Most High Yah gives to me, right? And having to be able to, like the stuff Brittany gave you, right? If I want you to be able to see it and hear it in a way in which is more befitting right? I want to be able to have these capabilities with the apps to be able to have multiple people and having all these bells and whistles. That's just what I desire for my channel. I want to grow my channel. That's why I asked you guys when I put that Cash App on there. It's for that. But it's also for gas money. You know what the gas is. So if I use anything you guys give me, you guys, Cash App, and I look in Cash App, it'll go towards gas. I have food. I have a place to stay. I have everything else I need. But you know these prices are high. And if somebody was to, out of their heart, be a cheerful giver and give to this channel, it would go to those two things. To make my channel better by having better audio quality, better visual quality, and also for gas so I can get to work every day or whenever, when I go to work. So anyways, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. I hope you got a lot of information from what we were talking about today. Thank you, More Than a Conqueror, for coming on. Thank you, Brittany, for coming on. Blessings to everybody that was in the chat. I hope that I put a lot of you guys' comments on. I promise you I'll get better because I've never had as many people in the chat on my channel. Is because I just started to do the live. So I haven't been doing lives where I had people come in the chat. I used to normally do normal videos. Now I'm doing lives. So before, now I got like 190 it was in the hundreds of comments because this was a banging interview. This was great. This is a banging conversation we had, right? There's going to be more of this. This is what you can expect from this channel. It's only going to get better. It's just going to get more refined and better. So you might as well, just subscribe. Go ahead. Push the notification. Push the thumbs up. Donate to the channel if you want. If you want. But anyways, if I didn't get to you, if I didn't put your name on there and make you feel like you're being acknowledged, I'm sorry. That'll get better too, right? And also, I want you guys to do more of when I put the link on, click on the link, and I will allow, and then we will have you on the live so you can share your strength, experience, and hope. Anyways, blessings to you. This is Judah J. I will be making a video. I don't know. I may even make a video later today. Who knows? Right? But for sure, I'll make a video tomorrow. Anyways, blessings to you all. And I am